Hi, y'all. I'm back. Now, a lot of people have been asking me to go live to explain all the things that have been happening in the last few days after Chadwick Boseman left us. And it's just all been happening so fast, so rapidly. But it's always been under our nose the entire time. So, if you saw my community post and read it, you already know what's going on. But if you haven't read my community post that I posted maybe an hour ago, maybe or less, it is the breakdown of the Black Panther soundtrack song called King's Dead. King's Dead by Kendrick Lamar. I was driving and I was in my car and I was listening to this song and I was looking at my title because I have a title subscription, and I was reading the names of the lyricists or the people that contributed to the lyrics of the song and who was rapping on it, and all their names mean something that predicted something that just happened. Okay, and this came out years ago. Also, watch the video. So I'm gonna tell y'all what it predicted, and then y'all can see the breakdown. I put it in the description as well as on my community section. I broke it all down for you. I was typing like this. So it's called King's Dead, and they have a video for it too. But the song predicts, of course, Chadwick Boseman's death, as well as Jacob Blake's shooting, as well as the shift and the shift with going to the next level of consciousness, creating multiple universes that you can basically create in. It's very deep. If you are new to this, all I did was decoded all the names first off, and the names tell the story. So let's start off with the list of names that are listed on this song. Okay. First name is J Rock. We already know the rock is involved. So we have J Rock, and we know the next name is Kendrick Lamar. The next name is Future. And we already know what future means because it's self-explanatory. We don't have to even look that up. And then we have James Blake. Okay, so I was decoding every name, and I'm going to break it down in a nutshell what each name means. You can go and read the detailed description, but basically, J means spirit or bird. We already know that spirit represents bird. Okay. Then we have rock, crystal. So we have a spirit and a crystal. We have a spirit that's crystalline. That's a mixed person, aka the Rock, and he's listed first. Okay, but it's not the Rock. It's just his name is J Rock. Then we have Kendrick Lamar. Thank you, Carmen. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Kendrick means family, head of family. You know how they say, oh, next of kin or whatever. It means the head of the family. Okay, so Lamar means of the sea, and the sea means the cosmos. Head of the family from the cosmos. Okay? Because he's melanated. Future, the future, what's to happen in the future. So after the artist's future is listed, this is the prediction that comes after. James Blake. Okay, so we know James, which is meaning supplant or the supplanter, one who plants, one who puts something into something, one who sows. Okay, then we have Blake, which means black skin, black hair, black in color. Okay, so we have to supplant black. That's a black man, right? They supplant black seeds, right? They sow black seeds. Okay. So then I looked up Jacob Blake's name meaning, and Jacob means the same thing as James, supplant. So future James Blake, aka Jacob Blake. Okay. And it was last. So, and it means black. And of course, we also have the new movie coming out very soon called Black Adam, which is starring The Rock. So it all kind of adds up, and he's basically, Black Panther basically passing the torch to Rock. Okay. And the name Blake also means to follow the black, to let the black lead you. And over the last couple of weeks or the last month, we've seen several new Black billionaires that have come about. And on the video, King's Dead by Kendrick Lamar, that's on the Black Panther soundtrack, they show Future and some other dude in the stock market room, where they do stock marketing. I don't know what they call it. The room where they have on like the suits and they're placing their bids and stuff. And that was also trying to tell you to invest in the stock market, which what I've been saying, because they're giving you future events, when to invest, when to pull out, when to invest, when to pull out. When I heard the news, I definitely rushed to, invest at Disney. That's for sure. So these clues are left everywhere. Just they're left all around. It's just you can't see them until it kind of unfolds, unless you already know about them or know something. So it would kind of be a waste of time to go and look through everybody's music and look at the vocals or the lyricists and then try to decode their names to see what's coming in the future, because it doesn't happen every song. But a song that's titled King's Dead, that's a song I would look into, or a song that has something to do with someone's death or some type of future. So I would only look into those types of songs if you want to try to get into the prediction game, because that's how you know all the stuff is pre-orchestrated, when everything adds up and there is no coincidence. So the Jacob Blake story, where the cop shot him in the back 7 times, his family said that he was paralyzed from the waist down after being shot. So once again, the cutting off of the lower chakra system to become more disciplined, so that you can get what belongs to you, what's yours, to get this money, to get this respect, to get this power, to get life correct, because it comes with a lot of discipline. And The Rock gave a speech about his family having COVID, but it was a really coded speech on Instagram. You could probably see it on YouTube too. But basically he was saying it's a new day. There's going to be a new set of rules. There's going to be some new discipline that's being put in place. And it's not about, control. It's about self-control. Things are going to be pushed to get you out of that lower chakra system. Things are going to be pushed to get you up here, to reverse your chakras and reverse your thinking, so that you are no longer ruled by your lower self. And then also the Chadwick Boseman dying of colon cancer is also the lower chakra, the root chakra. And as you can see, that's what took him out. So it's very important that right now, if you are living in a very negative, with a very negative attitude, unable to control emotions, a very undisciplined life, that you need to start to get your stuff together. Because honestly, there's not going to be a lot of toleration for certain things. They're going to start pushing family more. You're going to be looked at as the scum of the earth if you are going against, family members. If you're breaking up families, if you're disrespecting family, they're going to really emphasize that probably in the media or on TV shows. So they're trying to keep the families together and not have this, baby mama culture that's getting ready to end. So the best way to lead is by example, because that's what time it is. It's time to flip the chakras. That's what it means. It means to put your priorities in the correct order. Thank you, Rosita Sprinkle Sprinkle. I appreciate that. So flipping the chakras will put your priorities in the correct order. Okay. Because if you think about it, if you think about groups of people, different races of people, their disciplines are very different. Their priorities are very different, it seems. And so if you look at, the majority of the Black culture, a lot of the things are not high on a priority list. There's other things that are more important than what's really important. So that's getting ready to be shifted and flipped. So a lot of people are going to have a lot of people are going to have an issue with this, but it's the weeding out. It's the round 2 of the weed out. Okay, it's the round 2 of the separating the wheat from the shaft, almost. So if you have never been strong with disciplining yourself, it's time to get that right now. It's time to make some changes, because it's really going to be pushed and enforced. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people may have been, upset in some of my last community posts where I posted about Lovecraft Country, about how the girl Letitia was representing the Holy Spirit in the show, and so is The Rock, and so is, because it represents a mixed race. It represents the lower and the higher self merging. It represents the yin and the yang. It represents the black and the white. It represents a master and a slave that became one. The holy, the sacred, the whole, and then the spirit, which would represent the earth spirit. So the holy and the sacred would be from the cosmos, or it would be the eumelanated, and the spirit would be the theomelanated. So you have them both mixed. That represents the Holy Spirit. Most people have the wrong definition and meaning of the Holy Spirit, but in a physical form, that's what it is. It is when you can. It's alchemy. It's when you turn lead into gold. Okay, so basically, it's what it is. I woke up at 2 a.m. for 2 days. Survivor mode over. Yeah. Also, The Rock talked a lot about keeping your immune system high, eating vegetables, taking supplements, da 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 da. So basically, saying the same thing I was saying about the corona, and how him and his whole family, his daughters and his wife, were able to survive it and got on the other side of it, and now they're, his words were very coded as if they're in between both worlds at this time. And that's what the Holy Spirit represents, being here and there at the same time. That's also what Bozeman represents. Bosons, it's the boson Higgs, is when you can create alternate or several universes where you can be at the same place at the same time, 2 places at one time. That's what it means. And so I was looking on my Instagram and I saw someone just posted, I think it was First Class Space. I think that's Billy Carson's space agency. And so he also posted about the same thing about the Higgs boson. And I'm like, why you post? I'm like thinking to myself, why did you post that? And I just got through writing about it on YouTube. And that was just very strange. But supposedly in space, when, I guess, let me see if I can find it. Basically, when I think the black hole rips and tears or something, it could create the same effect as the Hadron Collider. And also, Chadwick Boseman, his name, Boseman represents a frequency or a force. So, and his first name, Chadwick, represents a farm. So he's a farm of the force, which means the force Michael Jackson said the Force got a lot of power, and then you have Star Wars, the Force. The Force is nuclear power. So a lot of the nuclear energy and the nuclear power that is coming from the planet right now and from other parts of the universe and through cosmic rays and and the sun, and it's getting hot. The next thing that is to come is the rising of all that are due to rise, all that choose to rise and that are due to rise, and that should be rising. So this is basically discipline time and get ready to become your best self time. I think Tyler Perry just became a billionaire. Of course, Kanye West is a billionaire. And you're going to see a lot more Black billionaires that are going to come about in the next month or two, and so on and so forth. So get ready to become your best self. And a lot of the people that you're going to see become billionaires, they're highly disciplined. They're putting their priorities in the correct order. They came from nothing and became billionaires. So that's going to be emphasized a lot to show you how to flip situations. And Jay-Z and Pharrell's Entrepreneur song. Yeah, I was listening to that the other day, making my daughter listen to it. And that's why I push entrepreneurship, because that's the only way. The only way. And I as much as I can say it, I can't say it enough. It's the only way. The only way. So I don't like to go into that too detailed, because a lot of people, they'll ask questions that they're not ready to answer for themselves. So the most questions I get about when I start to talk about business is, what kind of business should I start? I don't know. I don't know you. I don't know what your passion is. I don't know what you're good at. These are the questions you must ask yourself. Discipline also comes with shifting energy. Like, if you spend money on certain things that you don't need, that's not benefiting you, shift it to something that can benefit you, like starting a business or investing in yourself, to be able to push the business that you already have. So you're going to have to shift energy where it's not beneficial to where it is beneficial. That's what's happening right now. And that's exactly why the whole Chadwick Boseman, T'Challa, the king is dead, Black Panther is dead, is leading, because he's not really dead. He rose on top of us. He rose to the top. And now everyone else has to rise with him. He rose to the top, and now everybody else has to rise with him, because that's what it means. He's the force that has created, basically in the name meanings, the force that has created the world that you can create. The force that has created a world in which you can create in. So the Higgs-Boson, or the CERN machine, it works by creating multiple universes. And in space, before that happens naturally with the black hole or whatever, it begins with a spin. And that reminded me of the Willy Wonka song that I've been singing for the last month for some strange reason. I don't know why, but it's just stuck in my head, and that's why. Because whenever I get a song stuck in my head, it's for a reason. It's not because I'm just weird. It's for a reason. And that song was stuck in my head because that is how that's how it begins. When the Boseman particles and force create the other universes, it begins with the spinning particle. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, there it is. We'll begin with spin. Okay, what happens to planet energy? So this is what I was looking at. And this is the quantum universe. At this point, it is theorized that the fabric of space-time finally tear, creating time portals, maybe leading to other universes, or other points in space and time. So we've torn the space-time continuum. So that means there are several versions of this, and we can create, and we are in more than one place at the same time. So, and I wrote, the boson is a particle which carries a force. It has a whole number spin. Spin is a property of some subatomic particles. Bosons carry energy. The photon is an example of a boson. Photon is a light. Okay, photon is light. As it has a spin of 1 and carries electromagnetism, mesons, and also bosons, as they carry nuclear force. Bosons are different from fermions, I think I'm pronouncing that right, which are particles that make up matter, because bosons obey Bose-Einstein statistics. That's what it is. So the bosons obey. This means that you can put two of them in the same place at the same time. That's why on Black Panther, there was 2 Black Panthers and there was 2 kings at the same time, and they were fighting. Okay. So yeah, Killmonger killed the stuff in the movie. I think they're gonna bring him back though. Like at the very end, if you look, Black Panther, T'Challa bends over him and he looks like he takes out one of the little beads and sticks it in him. You just watch the very end. He over there doing something. I saw it at the end of Black Panther. He over there putting one of them beads up in him. Thank you, LM Sprinkle Sprinkle. At least I think he was. He was doing something. So this is just saying that the song Kings did and the artists that were rapping in the song, as well as probably the video, has predicted what has just happened or was already orchestrated to happen. Some people believe in this and some people believe in that. So whichever one you believe in, it don't matter because it happened. You know? And if you have a tear in space-time continuum and you're able to tear and create a force to create 2 people, 2 places at the same time, you can kind of, one is definitely going to be in a different time and space. So it could be in the future and it could be in the past. So if yourself over there knows, then yourself over here knows. And so that's how it can be either subconsciously put in there or knowingly put in there. But either way, it's there for you to see the evidence that none of this is a coincidence and it was already planned or known or was going to happen no matter what. There was no chance in this whole thing. There was only orchestrated events that led up to this that were documented long ago in the soundtrack of the Black Panther movie in the song Kings did. Just look at the name of the artists or the rappers on that song and decode them. And that's how it's predicted. Okay, so the Beirut explosion, yes, that's in the Bible. I forgot which verse, but I already talked about that. And that's already been due in the Bible for like years. Like, I will send my kings, or I'll send my people among you. If you don't treat them like kings, I will level the cedars of your cedars of Lebanon. Cedars represent trees. If you don't treat these brown and black people right, the voice of God, or basically a force or a frequency, will level the cedars or the trees or the people of Lebanon. So that's what it's about. Because they don't treat their humiliated people right over there. Okay. Now, when I talk and I say stuff, I'm not in sensitive mode. I'm not in sparing people's feelings mode. I try the best I can, but I'm in giving the knowledge mode. I'm sorry if people are sensitive and stuff like that. I just give the information. Just look at me as information. Look at me like Siri, baby. I'm Siri. Don't get mad at Siri. Siri, it just gives you the information. She don't care how you feel. That's just is what it is, okay? Too many people have to hop around and tiptoe around, and they can't even get the stuff out their mouth because they're too afraid what how people gonna feel and think, well, this is the time where no one cares anymore. And that's what time is getting ready to be for everyone. So that's when the discipline comes in. There's not going to be time for, oh, I'm so sorry about your feelings, and I'm so sorry that you, da 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 da. Like nobody's gonna care no more. It's like deal with that on your own time, basically. So yeah, deal with that on your own time, and it's like get out of the feelings and just get the information, because at the end of the day, your feelings are going to have passed and you're not going to feel that way anymore, and you're going to miss a lot of information. Okay. Right. You stuck in your own world. Is the whole world outside of yours? Of course there are. There's many worlds, as I just explained. Of course there is. Okay, stop looking at all of that stuff. That a lot of people are trying to break down stuff where it's not supposed to be broken down. And that's where y'all waste time at. The thing that you break down is the name. The name is the most important thing that you're going to break down. So the name is what it is. And then what he was closely associated with, the Black Panther. If we, and everything connects, because y'all remember when I was reading this book, the Through the Looking Glass, or the Wonderland collection? Well, Alice is, she falls into an astral travel or a dream, or she dies or something, I don't know. But she's sitting there petting a black cat in the chair when she goes into this other world. Okay. A black cat, the Black Panther, the force. It's a force of particles. Do y'all remember the movie Constantine, where Keanu Reeves was trying to contact the lady's sister, but he needed to astral travel somewhere, or shoot his spirit out of his body somewhere, and he needed a cat to sit on his lap so he can get that charge, that electric force charge. He had to put his feet in a bucket of water, and then the bucket of water was on a rug. So you're dealing with static electricity force. You're dealing with electricity. So, and the soul or the spirit is electric. So that's how a lot of people will represent it in their code. So the Black Panther was a frequency. Okay? He was the frequency of the force, which is melanin. Okay, and also nuclear force. Electromagnetism, exactly. Okay, so we have to really get into the science of it, and we have to get into the name meaning, and we also have to get into the nothing is by chance, it's all orchestrated, because this has been planned from ever since writing was a thing. Ever since the beginning of people writing things down, or even before that. This was always the plan to be executed. Many people don't think it is, but it's, or they think that they can change it, or whatever. They can't really change it, because it's sad that if you want to change it, that you can't, because it's been reinforced for thousands of years. And if you just found out about it last year, there's no way that you're going to be able to change the course of this. The best thing you can do is manifest and create the life you want. That's the best thing you could do. And because you can't change what's already been planned for thousands of years, you can still benefit from it. You can still get the life that you desire, but you can't change it. So right now is the The best time to really just start your own business, get yourself in order, start doing right by the people around you, whether it be your family or people that you need to do right by. Some people don't get along with their family, but don't do them wrong. Just you can't be around it, don't be around it. But it's time to flip your chakras into to where your passion is here instead of below. It's supposed to be, you're supposed to lead with your higher self. So if you continue to hang around people that are led by their lower selves and lower frequencies, then you're going to miss out on so many things, so many opportunities. And it also could backfire on you because 2020 ain't over yet. This is the second half. Round 2. Get up. Okay. So the second half of 2020 is going to be highly disciplined. Get on your discipline. I already started last year. I was like 2 years ago. I was starting on my discipline because it's very hard. Okay. But you got to want it. You got to want what you're really going after with a passion. And in order to do that, you have to get rid of the lower based things like drinking. If you are in control of how you drink, that's wonderful. If you can have 2 to 3 drinks and then stop, you're good. But if you got to get drunk every day, that's not discipline. I stopped completely because I'm trying to create a higher frequency. And so if you overeat, you got to stop that too. Thank you. If you overindulge in pretty much anything, you got to stop that too, whether it be something physical, whether it be drinking, drugs, women, men, whatever. Being lazy, it has to end in the second half of 2020. So I suggest people start making goals for themselves. That way it's easier to be more disciplined if you have goals. Maybe make 1 goal a week that's attainable in that week. And don't make giant goals that you will sigh at the end of the day because they're too big. You need to make daily goals or weekly goals. A lot of people don't realize that a weekly goal is easier to accomplish than a yearly goal or a 6-month goal. And you just make a new goal after that until it leads up to the big goal. I don't drink and I don't smoke. I met a beautiful girl 2 weeks ago. I'm still with her. That's wonderful, Planet Antonio. I'm happy for y'all. What do you think will happen after the election? The same thing that happened before the election. The election is a distraction. The elect, it talks about the elect a lot in the book of Enoch. The elect are a group of people, the electric people, the electromagnetic people. When you line up to go and vow to the electorials or the electorates, it's the same thing as worshiping a white Jesus. Same thing. Okay. So it's whatever you want to do. The point is 2020 and every other year before that, it's not to give you the answers. It's not to put something easy in your lap. It's to challenge your thinking. It's to raise your frequency. It's the trickster energy. It's Thoth's energy. That's what the Black Adam movie is all about. Thoth's energy. It's the trickster. Thank you, Crystal. Corner, sprinkle, sprinkle. The trickster energy works to push you to the next level. The trickster energy makes you upset because something got over on you. Something tricked you. And most people who have been tricked learn a lesson and they try not to be tricked again. You see, it makes them a little bit angry so that they figure stuff out. But if you're constantly given everything and the answers and made to feel okay about a situation that's not okay, you know, you'll go back to sleep and you'll not wake up and you'll not have the knowledge that you have. You won't, get the higher mind. So tricking people is how this raising of your consciousness and frequency is going to be working, because that's what the whole Black Adam thing is about. He's not a hero, he's more of a villain, but basically a trickster, because that's what's needed. People have to be tricked. And I said this years ago. People have to be tricked because they don't have discipline and they don't have the knowledge. And so at this time, it's 2020, we got 6 months left, I think. Yeah, a little bit less than 6 months. If you're not woke yet and you don't have the amount of information that you need in order to get to that next level, you have to be tricked into it. Point blank, period. You have to be tricked into it because people don't know any better. Their energy will be used this way. Some people's energy will be used that way because they haven't woke up yet. So they remain the pawns, and people use their energy to shift it certain ways because they have to trick them because they don't have the knowledge. And so the knowledge has been out there, but not many people were seeking it, right? Not many people were able to seek it because of the flip chakras. Okay, not many people were able to attain this knowledge because their priorities were out of order. They didn't have discipline. They weren't able to do the great work within. So by knowing that, a lot of stuff was put in place to manipulate and control the energy of different people in order to trick them into certain things, to get everybody on a similar frequency or going a similar direction, especially if they don't realize what's even happening. Thank you, Desmond. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Hi, my twin sister is your little brother. Hi, Desmond. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I appreciate that. How to obtain knowledge in 6 months? You can't. All you can do is just listen and learn and try to learn symbolism and get the backstories. Like I think Forbidden Knowledge TV, it's like a subscription service, like a Netflix kind of, but you watch it online. It's like $7 a month. It's the fastest way to catch up on the backstories. Okay, they give you the ancient stories of Kemet, of Sumeria, and stuff that you need to see what's happening now, because all that stuff is coming right back around. And y'all can use my link below, because just scroll all the way down past the breakdown, because I broke it down in the description bar, until you see Forbidden Knowledge TV. It might be on top. I'm not sure. It might be on top of it. But click my link and go check it out. It's a free 3-day trial. And at least you can get 3 days worth of free knowledge. That's all I can say. Hey. This one, yeah, 3 days free trial. Go get it. So in its videos and stories and ancient Egyptian mystery schools, stuff about the cosmos, quantum physics, you're going to get it all in one place. There's cooking shows, there's workout shows. So this is a great place to become more disciplined and spiritual, because there's workout shows, cooking shows, vegan cooking shows if you're trying to go plant-based. There's lessons in quantum physics. There's background stories of all these different, things that are coming into play right now. And so I think a lot of the background knowledge that you need to catch up with is over there. I mean, it's going to take you years to find what books to read this book. There's also audio books that y'all can get on YouTube, like Book of Enoch. There's the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, or the Compendium of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. I highly suggest that one because it also breaks it down in between in a certain way. So y'all can check that out. But definitely, if you're trying to learn as much as you can, definitely check out Forbidden Knowledge TV. But if you say there's no way I'm going to learn all this, it's too much, I can't do it, I'm stuck, where I am, then you need to follow someone that can do it, or follow someone that understands, and just kind of keep up with the information, kind of keep tabs on it, sort of like you do for current events, because there is surface current events, but those current events translate into spiritual current events or what's really to come, you know. Thank you. So Michael B. Jordan, who plays Killmonger, he just got a contract with Coach, or the brand Coach, and it's on his Instagram. If you go read on what it says underneath it, it's very coded, talking about family once again. All these stars are starting to talk about family. You're going to see the pattern: family, family, family. Just go look. Snoop, we already know he represents Anubis or Anoop in the game, and he always posting coded pictures, and he's one of the most coded posters. It's hilarious. But I'm going to show you what he recently posted. Oh man, I didn't take a picture of it. I gotta go to his Instagram. Or maybe I did. I didn't take a picture of it, but okay. He's basically has on a yellow and black shirt and says "Seek," and he's standing with Johnny Depp, and Johnny Depp's tattoo that says Jack, and we know his character was Jack Sparrow. Jack Sparrow. Jack, which is man. Sparrow, which is a bird, which is a spirit. A man, spirit. And then Snoop has a big yellow shirt on with the black letters that says "Seek." And Johnny Depp is standing next to him. So he's saying spirit, seek, melanin. Or you melanin. I'll show you the picture. He's notorious for that code, I tell you. So I follow a lot of people because they drop a lot of code, like Chris Brown, Drake, Snoop. So I'll show you the picture. So, and these are old pictures he's just randomly finding and posting for no reason. So there's never, and he didn't write a caption or anything. So why would he go way back in the old days and find a picture with Seek on it? Maybe they took these pictures on purpose at the same time to post them later, and da da da. So you never know. And then he posted Donald Trump, and it says, "I take no responsibility for anything. I blame the past on Obama and the future on Biden." That means he's living in the present moment. So he can't be blamed for what happens or what happened. You see how he's doing that? The time-space continuum has torn, and time, you see, the whole thing about the time. There's so much stuff. Oh, and then he posted this. It says heroes, Cane's Heroes. Okay, y'all know what Cane's is? It's like that chicken place, right? And then we got heroes, and then we have the Field of Reeds, or the Field of Elysium, which is the afterlife, or the middle ground, the netherworld, not the underworld, but the world that is in between, that doesn't exist, the present. So there's 3 of them, 2 black and 1 white. Okay, and Cain represents, the descendants of Cain, which is what, black people. So why is he posting that? Hero, Hebrew, T'Challa, rising above the Field of Reeds, rising above the Field of Elysium. In the Field of Elysium, you have to be a hero in order to get to the Field of Elysium. In the ancient Greek mythology, it's only for the heroes and the noble, the worthy. Okay. So he posted that. And then he posts a photo of him in black and white. Now you gotta remember what the black and white means, with a mask on that says "vote." So this is very cryptic. People really are confused. They think this means to go out and vote for a president. It doesn't. What it really means is vow. Vow. And his vow. When you have a mask on over your mouth and it says vow, it means vow of silence. And silence means it's a low frequency. Basically, you're vowing to a lower frequency. Is what he's telling you. You're vowing, which means you're giving your energy and you're worshiping a lower frequency, a vow of silence. Silence is a low frequency. It makes no sound. Okay. So when you see these people with these masks on that say vote, they're not telling you to vote. They're telling you that you're getting ready to vow to a lower frequency. But remember, everything is free will. You have to be tricked. They have to separate the ones who are awake and the ones who are asleep. They have to see who's on a higher frequency and who deserves this and who deserves that versus who won't ask any questions and just continue, punching clocks and being taken advantage of and being herded like sheep and cattle. Okay. This is how they figured out. This is how they figure who is due, their due diligence and, their abundance and who will take the short end of the stick because you choose. They don't choose, you choose. You choose by your level of awareness and your frequency. So, and remember when you vote, that's a record. They have a record of you. They got your name, your driver's license number, and all that. They got all your information in a computer that you vowed to a lower frequency. You know how in the Bible it says, thou shalt have no other God before me, or you shall worship no other gods before me. If you vote, that's what you're doing, literally. And instead of vowing to yourself to become a highly disciplined person and get your own money and stop depending on whoever is running at the present time, who's not responsible for the future or the past. When you get this mind right, you don't have to vote because you understand what it means and you can see the hidden information. When you see the hidden information, you get it. And then you can make the correct decision. If you make the correct decision, you don't have to wait around in line to go vow to a lower frequency who is going to keep you on a lower frequency. If your chakras are truly reversed and you're becoming a highly disciplined person, you're not going to fall for the okie doke anymore. Some of the smartest people of our time did not vote. Okay? People can go into a voting booth all they want. As long as they write their own name on the ballot, they're good. If you got to vote to save face, then go vote for yourself. Or put Michael Jackson on the ballot. I don't know. But don't vote for anyone but yourself, honestly. A lot of people don't realize that it is your free will and you must be tricked in order for them to separate who's who. And so a lot of this information is orchestrated and put out so that the people who are waking up or woke or able to see can tell the other people, they can tell the other people. And at least they know because they're associated with someone who knows. That's all I can say about the type of knowledge that's being put out here. Either you know or you know somebody that knows. That's it. That's even in the book of Enoch. So there are so many people that are so adamant about voting because you have these tricksters out here telling y'all to vote. But they're also telling you not to vote at the same time if you can read the signs. Okay. They're also telling you what you will be voting for and what you will be bowing to. It's not their fault you don't know that vote literally means, if you look it up on the internet, to bow. Nobody bothers to look up words anymore. If you can take words and make your own meaning out of it, or diminish another meaning of the same word, then that's how you trick people. That's why on that movie Malcolm X, they started Malcolm X out reading the dictionary, because words are spells, words are important, words are tricks. So if you want to start to learn how to decode, start looking up the definitions of words that you already think you already know, because there are several meanings for one word. You might have 6 meanings for one word. And depending on how it's used is how you need to decode it. So yeah, etymology, exactly. And a lot of people, if this is not your passion, if you don't truly seek knowledge, then find someone who does, and pay attention, or learn from them, because to them it's fun. Like for me, decoding is fun. I do it when I'm bored. you know I do it for fun. It's not even something that is like, a lot of people feel like, oh, there's so much pressure, oh, feeling of impending of doom. No, I do it for fun. What I do is fun. I don't do this for, oh my God, I have to decode to see what's happening next. I don't do it for like nervous reasons or crazy reasons. I do it for fun. Some days I'll be totally lazy and not even do much, and then I'll just start decoding random stuff that just pops in my head, and it ends up being something that's very important and relative to the current events that are happening. So I allow my high frequency to guide me, and I have fun with it. It's not something that I'm driven to do, like, work or anything. It's just fun for me. I do it because I can. I could do it on my phone. Like, I wrote that whole community post on my phone, like, and I don't like say words like that. I type, I'm like, or copy and paste and stuff like that. But it's just a pleasure for me. Mm-hmm. But I do have a Patreon that kind of breaks down how I decode and gives you lots of free PDF books. It's down there in the description bar. Just scroll all the way down until you see my Patreon link. But I break down like biblical things. I break down certain symbols. I break down how to, I think I even broke down a music video or art or pictures. I just take random things and I break them down, and I type out everything so that you can read and kind of get a picture of how things are decoded. Um, a lot of things are decoded from etymology, which is the name origin, or and how the name was created or the word was created. It also is about the meaning of a person's name, and also about symbolism and what a certain symbol represents in a certain text. Like in the Bible, trees represent people. Okay, so when you read about trees and stuff, you're not reading about trees; you're reading about people. And so I kind of break all that down, what stuff means in the Bible. So when you reread it and you substitute the word tree for a certain type of person, it makes perfect sense. And you can get a bigger picture of what's happening now. Because to use keywords and replace them with what a lot of people are thinking they're reading about some trees. Why would trees be in a Bible that have no significance? Trees represent people. There's different types of trees. They have roots, and then they have the trunk, and then the leaves and the branches. This is like a family tree. So a nation also represents a group of people, a type of people. When they say nation, they don't mean a country. They mean a group of people. And then when they say like, so this is cool right here, imagination. Sometimes you have to break down words into more than one word. Image, in, or I, nation. Image in a nation. What is an image? The reflection of light, right? A reflection of light in a group of people. So imagination is something that what you create. You create that. So it's also something that has already been created because you can't imagine it if it hasn't already happened. So break down words, maybe like in two sections if the word can be broken up. Like I broke down, like Chad and Wick. You can get different meanings for each part of the name. If you put it together, it still has a similar meaning. Or you can do like just break up compound words or words with different syllables and break up the syllables and look up the etymology of the first part, like fee. Pheo, like Theo. Okay, you break down Theo, you, and then melanin, you'll understand what pheomelanin means. If you break down you, EU, melanin, you'll understand the difference symbolically. And you got to do it, and you have to be disciplined. You have a computer in your hand. You have a computer in your hand at all times, but walk around knowing nothing. So I never thought I would ever have to say this, but be disciplined enough to learn how to use the internet. Okay. Okay. Remember, sometimes rumors are not really, you say you keep hearing Megan Thee Stallion is a female transgender. A lot of people are going to say stuff to distract you. What is a transgender? If you really think about it, what is transgender code for? They were going to try to make transgender represent the Holy Spirit, but it's a frequency. So a transgender person couldn't represent the Holy Spirit because it is a frequency. So I don't think she's a transgender person. So Megan, you got to break down. I already broke down her. I wish you were there on that day. Okay, stallion, horse. Horse is very significant at this time. Okay, we have Sagittarius. Chadwick was a Sagittarius. We have the alignment of certain zodiac signs and da da da. I already broke down Megan Thee Stallion. You just have to break down her name. It's not the horseman of the apocalypse. I got the horses in the bag. Hat is matted black. Horses is like the chariot or the wheels in the book of Enoch. It's the force that is controlling the shifts and the angles of light that are coming in. It's a force, basically. So, and then if you look up the name Megan, I forgot what her name is. Y'all gotta stop listening to these people that don't know too much. Megan means pearl. Pearl. Okay. And I already looked up pearl. So now we gotta look up pearl. So when you get a name like Megan, okay, Megan means pearl. I can't go anywhere. Yes, you can. Look up pearl. Pearl, spiritual meaning. Wisdom gained. It represents wisdom gained. It also is considered a beacon of light for those who see in the world through spiritual lenses. Okay, so the angle of light, the chariot, the wheels, Megan, pearl, it's a different angle. It represents a beacon of light, which also represents, you know how like in the ancient Kemetic days, how they had like, they thought people were worshiping the sun, but they were really absorbing the information and the energy from the sun. due to a shift or a different angle or a different, amount of cosmic rays, solar rays coming in because the electromagnetosphere has been disrupted. It's a different type of light that's coming in. Okay. And the wheels have turned in a new direction. That's why the moon looks a little bit different. Or you see another planet that's close and you see this in the daytime, and you can feel a new energy because things have shifted and the skies look different. So yeah. And the divine feminine, the divine feminine returns. That energy is back. The veil that blocks or lets in certain amounts of light are personified by certain goddesses in the ancient, Egyptian pantheon, known as Mary, Mother Mary, in the Christian religion, known as Nut in, ancient Kemet. So it's all about the goddess right now. That's why you see hot pink a lot. That's why you see a lot of pink or red, because that pink and that red represent that goddess and that new angle of light that's coming through. Okay, so that's the hot color this year, that hot pink and that red. Okay. Right. You'll see a lot of men wearing it too. And the reason the men are wearing it is because they are representing that goddess energy. Mm-hmm. Can we talk about the ley lines? Do they affect our chakras? Ley lines are just places where energy flows through. It's like in Black Panther, you know how they have those trains running underground with the uranium on them? That's ley lines. Okay. So basically the ley lines that are running around everywhere, they were taking their Black Panther suit off. Okay. When they were underground fighting, Killmonger and T'Challa were fighting, they had to go underground because their superpowers were stripped away underground due to the ley lines. Because ley lines are where energy travels. And if you have a certain frequency, but the ley line's frequency is stronger, it might just snatch your frequency. Or depending on how your energy flows, you might just snatch its frequency. You know what I'm saying? It's like either you're going to snatch its frequency, or it's going to snatch your frequency, depending on how much it is, how powerful it is, what's going on in the world, etc., etc. You got your palette. The details that you put into it were wonderful. The confetti. Oh, thank you, Sprinkle. Thank you, Nina. She bought my Level Up palette. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. So it just depends, but most of the time, major cities are built on ley lines so that that energy can travel from place to place, and it's like the Earth's chakra system. It's an Earth grid. It's kind of like your electromagnetic field around your body. So if yours is flowing in a good way, then it really won't really affect you too much. What about this Rihanna and Chris Brown news and how Rihanna talks about healing family traumas? I told you I was about to be family time. I saw that too. Rihanna was in the news recently, or in the media recently, saying that she forgave Chris Brown and it's all about healing family trauma and da da da. That's old news. Why are they bringing it up now? Because they are trying to push that family. They're trying to push family values. They're trying to push the healing and the bonding of the family. And they don't mean just your family at your house. They mean the entire human family. That's what it's really code for. They're forgiving things that have been done wrong because they're already getting ready to become one. Like I told you. And like I said, we're only looking at the signs, the symbols, and we're decoding. We don't care. We're not into the emotional aspect of it. That's how you get your energy stolen. Now you don't need a ley line to steal your energy. You don't need a 5G phone to steal your energy. All you need is a feeling inside your own self to have your energy stolen. You know what I'm saying? So when you hear stories like this, I know it's going to be hard for you because you're used to dealing with surface reaction. Don't react. Just observe and decode. And I say this in a lot of my breakdown videos. Stop reacting. Decode. You know what I'm saying? Don't feel anything. Just decode it. If you start to do that, you'll start to see more. The trick is the feeling. That's the trick. That's the distraction. That's to keep you off the path of the knowledge. So if you can discipline yourself, which is very important right now, if you can discipline yourself to see past any emotion and just do the information, look at the information and decode it, you'll get so much more knowledge, be so much more energized, be less stressed. You'll see everything. And that's how you start to flip your chakras. Okay. By purposely staying disciplined where you were once undisciplined. Okay. That's where Christ consciousness comes in. That's right. You have to just stop. Like so many people they just can't help it. Especially if you're one of those gossipy people. Ooh. One of those gossipy people who stay mad or in their feelings or always got attitudes. It's going to be very hard for you to discipline yourself and flip your chakras. So practice with every given opportunity so that you don't, become a pawn, because they do need pawns. Just trying to tell you. They accept pawns on a daily basis. Pawns in the chess game. They will take your energy. They will exploit you. They will do what they got to do because you volunteered. Do I believe in God, heaven? Okay, the cosmos, the heavens above, like the cosmos, like the space, the stars, or like a place in the clouds where there's a gold gate or pearly gate, and then you go in and sing in the choir with angels. Like, which one do you want me to believe in? You want me to believe in? Here's the heaven that I believe in. I believe that when your soul leaves your body, you become a form of plasma, which is the fourth state of matter, and then you become a gamma ray, and then you become a cosmic ray. And that gamma ray and cosmic ray can shoot out into the cosmos like a rocket and get through the ionosphere. So if that's the heaven that you're speaking of, yes, I do believe in the heavens or the cosmos, because that's where most of us are from. But not the image of heaven that is painted, or not the image of heaven that they lie to you with, but the real one. To some, heaven is the clouds because they can't get out. That's why they're pushing the race mixing agenda so that they can get out. A lot of people can't get past a certain frequency or the ionosphere unless they have melanin. So to some people, the clouds are heaven. And to some people, the cosmos are heaven. Like to Thoth, he got into the cosmos. Okay? So it just depends on what your heaven is. Is your heaven on earth? Or is your heaven in the cosmos? That's why they're pushing the mixed race agenda, so everybody can have the same heaven. That's why they're trying to push family. They're not talking about just regular family. They're talking about the human family, at least the American family. I don't know. That was the whole plan in the first place. I did a Kendrick Lamar verse. I was lip singing it on the reels. I think I deleted it. But anyway, no, it was not Kendrick Lamar. It was Lupe Fiasco. I think it was Adoration of the Magi or Resurrect, one of those songs. But anyway, there was a verse in it that said there was a test to make your enemy. The test is to make your enemy. I don't know, to love your enemy or something stupid like that. You know how in the Bible said, love your enemy? It doesn't literally mean to love someone who has done you wrong. It basically means to mix your race. Everything in the Bible boils down to mixing race. Every religion boils down to mixing race. So you take a nation, you take the United States and other parts of the Americas, and you always have had racial tension. So there were, they created an enemy in order to create the alchemy, in order to turn lead into gold, in order to have the yin and the yang become one. This was always planned from whatever ancient text that they got it from. This has always been the plan. And people don't realize that. And a lot of people don't want to go with the plan, and that's fine. You don't have to go with that plan. And a lot of people think I'm pushing it. I'm not pushing it at all. I'm doing the same thing Snoop doing. But I'm giving you the code with it. The reason why it's free will is because if you understand the story, if you understand the plan, and if you understand what the future holds, you choose your position based on that and where you want to be. If you were born into a position that, whatever, then of course you are where you are. You're born in that position, period. But there are other positions where you can choose to do this or you can choose to do that. So if you don't choose to mix race or whatever, that's fine too, because they're always going to have a need for you melanin. And if you don't mix race and you're feel melanin, that's fine too, because there's always going to be other people that don't want to mix either. And there always may be a need as well. And I feel that a lot of people are going to be pushed, not forced, but pushed in that direction only because it's going to be able to allow a huge advancement in technology that many other parts of the world won't be able to do. So if you understand that this is all trying to go back to, like, y'all remember the story of Atlantis and how they had all this certain type of technology and da. This is what they're trying to get back to, but they can't get back to it without a certain frequency of people. And that frequency of people is all the mix. Because if you roll out, let's say 8G, a lot of people gonna die because they don't have enough melanin to absorb the radiation that it's causing. So what do? Do you say, hey, people who don't have a lot of melanin, y'all need to move somewhere where they're not gonna have 8G because we finna turn it up? What do you think they're gonna say? No, we're not gonna do it. We belong here. And so technology is halted, giving other nations around the world a chance to advance. Brown nations, America does not want that to happen. So they're going to make themselves a brown nation. Okay, y'all seen Donald Trump on the news. You've seen how sunburnt he been looking lately. But that's the agenda. They're going to make a brown nation, period, whether people like it or not, period. That's why on the end, and I've said this before in another video, but listen very, like, a lot of people don't hear my words. They just hear their own words in their head. I never say to do this or that. I'm just giving the info. I'm like Siri. I'm just giving you the information. Do with it what you want. At the end of Endgame, on the Avengers, at the very end, you'll see certain types of people in certain places. Okay, you'll see a lot of the pheomelanated people, which are the white and the light skin. melanated people in the woods, in the country, on a ranch, or in a cabin, way out. Then you'll see all the brown people or people of color in cities with advanced technology. Okay? Just go watch it again. Go look at the last part where they're mourning Iron Man. This is the part. Okay, when they're mourning Iron Man at the very end, you'll notice that a lot of people are in the outskirts of town, in the woods, in the cabin, in the ranch in the field. Then you see T'Challa in a city. Then you see Captain America in the city, the Black Captain America. They make Captain America black. Okay, what does captain mean? Okay, so y'all know these type of movies reflect the plan and the agenda. So obviously that's what it is. And so in order to be able to use the advanced technology, people have to have the ability to absorb huge amounts of radiation. Why do you think that NASA is studying how to absorb radiation for the space station? You really think it's for space? Sorry. They're not going to spend that much money to put that much melanin on a machine that's going to get washed off upon perhaps re-entering into the atmosphere one day or whatever, or eroded over time. I don't know. But they're going to implement it into making clothing. They're going to implement it into making protective, masks. That's why they're starting with these masks. They're getting you used to wearing stuff, protective gear, because they're getting ready to hop. 2020 almost over. They're getting ready to implement some stuff. They're going to start selling these masks to block certain things, not just corona. Corona is a frequency. Okay. And how do you absorb a frequency the fastest? Through water, right? Your nose and your mouth, water. And so they're getting you used to wearing protective stuff. So next, they're going to turn it up. That's why Verizon Wireless, y'all seen them Verizon commercials with them pink lines going all across the globe or whatnot. Y'all know the color hot pink represents the new, angle of light that is coming through. The new frequencies that are coming through, and they're trying to put 5G everywhere. And I was watching, I think, Man of Letters video, and he was talking about how Verizon was having its annual meeting or some type of whatever at that Grove place. What's that place called? Bohemian Grove? Yeah, that they were having their meeting there or whatever, they party or whatever. Was it T-Mobile? Okay, sorry, y'all. Yeah, it's T-Mobile. My bad. It's T-Mobile. One of them. But they're together now. T-Mobile and Verizon merged, and then Sprint too. So they're all merging. Sprint, T-Mobile, and Verizon. I think Verizon. Was it T-Mobile? One of them. They're all merging. Somebody merged. I know Sprint merged with one of them, the one with the pink. So, and Sprint is yellow and black, and then we have the pink. So, again, the companies are merging, putting 5G everywhere, right? Whether you care or not, whether you like it or not, whether you protest it or not, they're upgrading every phone that comes out in the future, unless you get one of them flip phones. Most of them with 5G, whatever tech. Because they're going to raise it to 6G, 7G, and on up into where we can have Wakanda, basically. What about the kids? The kids got to get melanin, baby. That's the whole point of pushing people to mix the race. They don't care that we're all happy and singing Kumbaya. They want the technology. Okay, they don't care about human. They don't care about racism. They care about technology. So they're going to pretend, oh, kumbaya, family, da da da, everybody get together, we are one. They're going to do all of that so they can get the technology. Okay. So, yes, God level technology. So, if you understand this, if you know this, then you make decisions based on this knowledge. They're going to try to make stuff to where you have some type of protection. They're going to start making clothes. It's going to be probably expensive though. They're going to start putting the eumelanin stuff in the clothes. It's like a they have it out now. Just go look it up. Just melanin lined clothes. They got it. It was on that movie Gattaca. But they have it now. So they're going to start selling melanin lined clothes, suits, masks. So when you got to wear it all the time because it doesn't even matter if you're outside or not. The stuff travels through walls. Well, if you already have eumelanin, you're less likely to need a suit. That's why they're trying to push the race mixing. So if you already have eumelanin, you're good. If you don't, you got to wear them suits until you mix in or until everybody becomes brown. But those suits are for the transition, The suits are for the transition into creating one group of people. And they're not going to end, well, the world could see how advanced the technology really is, and then they might implement the same thing in their countries too, if, or at the same time, so that no one will be left, without the technology. So that's why they have a lot of people allowing a lot of different, immigrants to move into their countries. That's why they ship soldiers all the way to the other side of the world and, station them there so that they can, spread their seeds of all different races. And so on every corner of the earth, the seeds will be spread. And then, it's a go. And a lot of people don't like, okay, so I'm just going to speak frankly. I don't really care about people's feelings. I'm just going to give y'all the information. I'm Siri right now. I don't have an opinion about it. I don't really care. I've already made most of the major decisions in my life. Sorry, y'all. I've already made most of the major decisions in our life, so I'm not trying to push nothing. I'm just trying to give y'all the information so y'all can know what's going on, period. But I don't care. So I already got what I need, so, I don't care. So I'm going to tell y'all, I guess I'll slow down. He says, okay. So you have this Black man and Black woman thing. Black men don't want to date Black women. Black women are mad at Black men for not supporting them and protecting them. Do you know why? Let me tell you. I'm going to tell you the spiritual reason behind that, or the agenda reason. Eumelanin is brown. Anybody with brown skin, Black brown skin. Okay. The reason is that Black men, now I know y'all don't want to be heard of as this, but that's what y'all are. I'm sorry. The Black man is considered the supplanter. You're supposed to go out and seed the world and give them melanin. If you already have a Black woman, she don't need melanin. This is the agenda that they're pushing because you have the seed. So they try to push you towards other races, and they try to lift you and exalt you so that other races will want to mate with you. Okay? And you are considered brother and sister if you are a Black man and Black woman. You are not considered husband and wife. You are considered brother and sister. According to the decoding. That's your brother, you his sister. When they say wifey or girlfriend, that means another race in code. Okay. like in a lot of the songs when they talk about your ex and cheating and A, B, C, and D. They're talking about, and also you can be considered an ex as well. Like you would be considered the ex, or you would be considered the sister. So in that aspect, they want you to spread your melanin to different races. So they keep you against each other. So I mean, they already know people are going to, create within their own race, but the agenda is to also push to spread seed to other people. And so right now, the reason why it has become so rampant right now is because time is winding up. And so that's why it's so pronounced. That's why it's so obvious. That's why they're paying all these celebrities to push this agenda because time is running out. And that they believe is their purpose to spread their seed, period. Okay. It's the same story of Jesus. God gave his only begotten son. This is the story of Jesus. God gave his only begotten son to the world to what? To be saved. Basic translation. God or whatever agenda or whatever created all this agenda sent Black people here to save the rest of the world. But they're always given the free will. Always given the free will. You don't have to, but if you want to be a quote unquote hero or a Heru, it's up to you. You don't have to, but this is where the deals are made. This is where the deals are made. Okay, yeah, the Jew and Gentile code. This is where the deals are made. You want to be rich on earth? Well, you got to play into our agenda. And then, I'll give you riches on earth and you give us riches in heaven. So that's the deals that are going on. Okay, just like, I don't know if y'all saw that Black Panther and Stan that owned Marvel Comics little cartoon going around on Instagram where they both walk through the gates of heaven at the same time. I'm like, why was Stan waiting on T'Challa? Why he didn't go by himself? And then of course they had him in the black and in the white. So a lot of people make deals like, I want to be rich and famous on earth and I want to get my energy up on earth. So when I pass or when I die or when I fake die, or even if I do die for real at that time, whatever, all that energy from people mourning me and holding me up is going to force and push my energy to somewhere else. And I will be powerful in the next realm as well because I have all this energy lifting me up. So I'm super powerful in the next realm. You know how some people are born into this life and they just are super powerful and talented from the start, like a Michael Jackson or somebody, just naturally just gifted. Well, a lot of times, people think that it's because you had a lot of energy pushing you into the next life. And so you push the agenda in order to, it's just deals, right? And so you don't have to make these deals. It's totally up to you. But if you want to be in that entertainment industry, that's what it's about. Those deals, period. Now, if you can find a loophole, there's always loopholes. You don't have to really, if you were pushed in with a lot of energy and a lot of talent, you don't have to do as much. The less talented have to do the most talented have to do the least. That's just how it is. All right. Then, so who will protect Black women? It's not about protection. What it's about is understanding. So if you understand that you're not really enemies, the black man is not the enemy to the black woman, then you can protect her as a sister, not a girlfriend, not a wife, because a lot of people will protect you as a sister, a little sister. You know what I'm saying? And not feel as if they have to be with you. A lot. This is the agenda. I'm sorry. Don't take this as me pushing it, because some people keep thinking I'm pushing it. I'm just giving you the information so that you can understand what's really happening. So you are allowed to be protected, of course. But if the men don't know, and you always have an attitude towards them, and they don't want to protect you because a lot of bad things are being said about them, and they're being pushed in a certain direction as well mentally to see the feel melanated, they may get this mental block in their head that is your sister, that is your brother. Y'all remember when that is your mother, that is your father, so like on the song Will You Be There? Michael says, love me like a mother, not a girlfriend, not a wife, but a mother. Hold me, lift me up, hold me up, and it's about the family, literally brother and sister, not, or exes, a lot of people use exes, but they would call the ex, like after the whole agenda is done, then everybody will be the same. Then there will be no push, you know what I'm saying? And so that's why there's this constant battle, because they're pushing the men this direction and the women aren't understanding why. They don't understand why. But be in church every Sunday worshiping Jesus and not realizing what the term Jesus really means. They don't understand. And so that's why I make my videos, because I hate to see lost people. Right. Mm-hmm. So if you want to study the brother and sister relationship, study Naomi Campbell and Diddy on Instagram. They have this relationship and they constantly show it. They'll go to award shows together. They'll dress up in, fancy clothes together. They'll hang out. They call each other brother and sis. And I think at one point they might have dated, but now they're brother and sis. They are the archetype of the black man and the black woman that are representing the brother and the sister. Just go look at her Instagrams where she has, a bunch of pictures of Diddy and he has a bunch of pictures of her. People are always saying, oh, y'all need to get together. Y'all need to get together. Nope. They're brother and sister. And that's the dynamic that they're pushing, because at this point, they're giving you the status, but you don't know it. A lot of people don't know it, of a hero, of a Christ figure. That's why every time a black person dies, every time a black man dies, he's a hero. Even if he's resisting arrest, he's a hero, because they're pushing this image of a Christos or a Christ figure onto black men, because they are to give their blood of Christ, their DNA of Christos, of crystalline, of humility to the world. And that's, someone asked me earlier, who's to protect black women? Black men are to protect black women, or any man to protect any woman, period. It shouldn't, any man can protect any woman, period. You don't have to be black or white. If a black lady is standing here and a white dude is standing here and she needs protection, if he any type of real man, he'll protect it because she's a woman, period. If he the one attacking her, well then, somebody else got to step in. So, and we'll get to a point where we don't even realize it's an agenda anymore. Just like the people in the 50s and the 60s didn't realize they were part of an agenda. They thought that they were doing what they wanted to do. No, that's part of the whole thing. Everything was part of the agenda in the first place. So let's say in 15 to 20 years from now, or 50 years from now, your kids or your grandkids will think this was normal and not part of an agenda. You know what I mean? They'll be like, do y'all remember when everybody was always fighting and they had the Black Lives Matter movement, and then finally everybody started being friends and everybody became one? And they'll probably see that, or they'll see more of it, and they'll think, just like we thought, desegregation and the civil rights movement was something that came about on its own and not part of, not all of us, I know a lot of us are woke, and fighting for your right to vote was all for a agenda. No, they won't see that in the future. They won't see this agenda in the future, but we see it now. Okay. Do you think Black women are pushed to date interracial? I think we are all given free will, but we are influenced. I will say influenced. So, for example, when a celebrity says something bad about Black women and Black women get upset, they were paid to say that, to push the agenda. Okay? They were paid to say that to push the agenda. Period. Because they almost see it as if they are making fun of their little sister. They almost see it as they making fun of their little sister. And they're being pushed to upset Black women enough to go outside of their race to date interracially. Yours is triggered by emotion, and they're triggering it by paying people to get you emotional and influencing other people to see the same way if they look up to that entertainer or whatever. That's just how they're doing it. It's a trick. And some people see through it, some people don't. But if Black women don't marry a Black man, who is the seed? The Black man is the seed. The Black woman is the womb. Both DNA. Both have melanated DNA. Either way, we're about to slide. See? So let's say this entertainer says something bad about Black women. This is a Black woman. She gets mad. I'm going to go date outside my race. Forget you then. Then she goes, gets a white dude, Mexican dude, Asian dude, whoever, Indian, Arab, whatever. They make a baby. The baby is what? Brown. Rapper dude says, whatever, okay, whatever, goes get him whatever race besides Black race. What color his baby is? Brown. What do you have? 2 brown babies, right? Either way, we about to slide. So them brown babies grow up and meet each other, but there's no one else around. Everybody brown. So what they gonna do? Be brown again. Sometimes we gotta break it down. Funny Black men get mad when Black women date out. And so do Black women. They're mad because they feel unwanted, but it's not really unwanted. It's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice to, whether they know it or not, it could be a subliminal sacrifice, the choice that they're making. But in the agenda is pushing you that way. Sounds like a bunch of manipulation. Yeah, it is. That's all it is. What do y'all think I'm trying to tell you this for? What is an agenda? It's a plan, right? A plan, a planner. It's a plan. It is manipulation. It is tricks. And it is lies. That's what the entire thing is about. People have been lied to so long, they are stripped of their knowledge of who they are. They're put in a certain predicament, situation, and no one's telling them anything. They're not even seeking the knowledge to learn and see what's really going on. So they become pawns in the game. And if you don't know why things are going on, you will stay stuck in your feelings, and that will lower your frequency. If you know what's going on, it doesn't bother you one little single bit, because you can explain it, you understand it, and you see the long effects of it. You see the bigger picture. And so at the end of the day, you see the bigger picture. The bigger picture. The now, the pain right now, or the feeling of rejection right now would not even be there if you understood the agenda or knew what the agenda was. And at any given time, at any point, people can, live in different places where this agenda is not being pushed. A lot of people have moved to the islands. A lot of people have moved to different parts of the world where the agenda is not being pushed. So we always have a choice, or we don't even have to follow the agenda if we are aware of the agenda. See? So it's not something that's being forced. It's just that we all have free will. We are being manipulated. We are being triggered. We are being influenced, but we still have our own mind. And that's what it comes down to. I never tell anybody to do this or to do that. I just give you the information of what is being pushed, what the agenda is, and what it has always been, and what it will always be. Because they want the technology that comes with the frequency that America will become if everyone is one type of people. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. One identifies with their million. It doesn't matter, because if you fast forward the world in about 200 years, this ain't gonna matter. There's this movie called Time Machine or something. This dude got in his time machine and fell asleep, and he accidentally fast forwarded like a long time to the future. When he woke up, everybody was the same. Everybody was the same race. Thank you, JM143. Sprinkle. My kids are half Black and Indian, and I've seen bigger picture, and I've always felt Black women didn't want me, and I didn't want them, but wasn't true. Thank you, JM143. Sprinkle. Yeah, from birth, you're being influenced, of course. From birth, you're being influenced, especially in America. You're being influenced to see other races as this way or other races as that way, because that's the agenda. And, that's understandable. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that it's moral, but time is winding up. And they have to do what they got to do, because they're trying to get this technology back. Everybody's also interested in Atlantis and the technology that they had. Well, the reason they had it is because they were all humiliated. And radiation did not affect them. So, radiation did not affect them. So, a lot of people are talking about, the rise of Atlantis. The rise of Atlantis. The rise of Atlantis is a people. It's a frequency. It's a frequency and a technology that comes with that frequency. So that's what they're trying to bring back, Atlantis. And in order to do that, the people have to be the same. Yeah, Nigeria don't have this issue. They're still getting married. Exactly. That's because if you have the technology, you could definitely use it without killing a bunch of people. So there's no agenda there. And who knows, a lot of times, if you think about nature, and I know people get mad and upset because they feel betrayed, and that's understandable. Like, I'm trying to be sensitive, it's very hard. Because, like, when you start regurgitating information, you don't want to pause for, this, you don't want to do the sensitive pause because then you'll lose your place. So it's understandable that people feel rejected because they don't understand what the rejection is for. You know what I mean? Like in the movies, like if somebody threatens you, if you talk to her, I'm gonna kill your whole family, and so you got to break up. And so the guy has to go and break up with his girlfriend, and he can't tell her why, and she don't know why. She just thinks she's being rejected, so she'd be mad and try to get revenge on him. But in order to protect, her or the family or the future, he got to do what this, agenda is telling him to do, or this, you know, this person is telling him to do, to keep other people from being, hurt or whatever. So it's kind of like that scenario. If you don't know why you're being rejected, it hurts. But if you know why, then you're like, okay, well, that's understandable. I see what y'all are trying to do. It don't make it right, but it's understandable. So you're less angry, you're less upset, you feel less rejection because you know that the agenda is pushing towards creating a whole brown America. The fastest way to do that is what? Right. So you can be mad, but you can understand and be less angry. Mm-hmm. You said I'm tired of giving parental advisory warnings. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know kryptonite, like I said, it's free will, baby. Like Rick Ross said, God forgives, but I don't. Okay. Like I said, it's free will. You got Kanye, you got Rick Ross, you got, you know, do what you want to do. I keep telling you, I don't care. I really don't even care. It's coming either way. um, and see, that's the attitude that's going to be like, y'all don't realize this, but in the future, people are going to be less emotional. No lie. People are going to be way less emotional. You'll see. Where do Beyonce and Jay fit into this? Well, Jay, think about his name. Jay represents the spirit. Okay. Z, Zeta, I don't know, whatever. Basically, he represents, their whole family is representing the same thing. Beyonce, obviously, Creole descent. So they're representing the whole American family, you know. That's why they looked so strange when you would see Beyonce in that Black is King video movie, and she's in different parts of Africa. She's representing the spirit. That's why she's saying spirit, the Holy Spirit. Right. The agenda is super real, whether you like it or not. It's forward going. So you don't really like. That's what they're representing. They have an archetype and a role to play and something to represent, to influence the masses or the people who don't understand what's really going on. Because if people all were on one accord and they understood what was really going on and they understood the type of technology that they could get, most people may be okay with it. But in order to keep the wow factor, like new technology that's going to come out. I mean, do y'all remember the wow factor when iPhones or smartphones came out? Do y'all remember that wow factor and how everything changed due to one device? Imagine if we got something else on that level, but we needed 8G. You know what I mean? There's something else beyond smartphones. Y'all saw Black Panther. Y'all saw all that technology in Wakanda. You can go get surgery and be healed in 2 days or a week or a day, laying on electromagnetic whatever healer thing, like on Black Panther. They have that technology. You can't use it because of certain things. You know, imagine going in for some surgery and coming out 2 days or 1 day later, totally healed. Imagine that. Imagine not having to ever go to school again because information is flowing when you need it. You grab it just like Google, straight from the energy. That's what's coming, but we can't get it until everybody brown. They don't want to spoil it for y'all. You have to get through this struggle. The struggle makes you stronger. You know, you have to get through this on your own. You have to overcome it mentally. You have to see it for the bigger picture. You know, that's what it is. The bigger picture, you're going to see, you're going to become the gods. Period. You be like Thoth. You want to know something? Grab it out the air. Just like on that movie Lucy, she could see all the stuff in the air and see what stuff going on. You know, we're going to be on that level to pick up energy. We can kind of already do it. If you think about the 5G, you'll be thinking about something or dreaming about something or singing a song, and then all of a sudden, something will show you that you pick that up somehow, some way. Like I will be dreaming about a song or singing a song in my dream, and then I wake up the next day, literally. And as soon as I turn on my phone, the person that was singing in my dream, and it ain't Michael Jackson either. I know y'all say, oh, it was, somebody totally different, pop up right on my phone, or it's their birthday, or it's, something happened to a major in the news. So why am I getting all this information streamed in? Because a lot of people can pick up Wi-Fi. Your pineal gland is crystal. Your brain works on electricity. You should be able to pick up Wi-Fi. A lot of times you'll be thinking about something and it'll pop up on your Instagram. You didn't even say nothing. You didn't even search it. You just be thinking it. Why? Because you can pick up on Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi can pick up on you. Period. So think about the future. Think of how fast you'll be able to manifest if you thinking about something, didn't type it in, never search for it a day in your life, and then you click on Instagram or Facebook and there it is. Ooh, how did you know what I was thinking? I never said it. Don't even have a picture of it. There's no way the phone could know what I'm thinking inside my own head. Why did it manifest onto this device or screen that quick? So if this is basic technology, imagine in a world of pure imagination. Imagine you can just think it. That's how they built the pyramids. You can just think it, and all the energy that's flowing through the air. Because remember, it's particles, there's water, heat, voice, elements, electricity. Well, it's going to make it. You'll see it just create right in front of your face, manifest right in front of you. That's the technology that we're trying to get to. But people are stuck on silly stuff. Nobody knows the bigger picture because they want to surprise you. It's a surprise, a big surprise. That's your prize. That's the prize. If y'all can make nice, that's the prize. It's an experiment. They put you in a place. They put agendas against you. If you can work past the agenda, or not past the agenda, if you are able to accomplish whatever it took to get to this technology, that's your prize. If you can't, and you never figure it out, then you're going to remain in what they call lower frequency or a lower dimension. You'll never get the prize. You'll never get to the, they call the promised land, or the field of Elysians, or you'll never get to your goddess or godhood status on earth. Like, you will never be like Thoth, because little things matter. Like, who's the president? If you can create at will, do you need a president? Probably not. If you can create at will, does it matter if somebody rejects you or like you? Create another one. You won't even have to go get another one. You can create another one. Just like in the Genesis Bible. Look, I'll create me one. Look, I'm going to sculpt this one out of, this is what this one going to look like. Yes. You can make whatever you want. Make them black, white, striped, zebra, half man, half animal, Black Panther, whatever. Y'all know I get silly sometimes, but why would you focus on something that we already know is the agenda? Don't be mad. Look at the bigger picture. The big picture is that there's a prize that's waiting. Like the Isley brothers said, Atlantis. Right? And so let me tell y'all one more thing. I know, like I said, I'm just giving out the information. I'm just stating what's obvious that you can see but haven't realized yet. Okay, I'm just gonna lay it out for y'all already. Look at all the Black leaders. Look at all the high up Black people. They're not all Black. They look like they mixed race. Period. Go look at everybody who's supposed to be in a high position. Mm-hmm. Go look at everybody that's supposed to be in a high position. Why were they given that status? Because they want to push you to that, because they can get that technology that much faster. I'm just saying, they're trying to get to that. And like I'm saying, it can't even be rushed. You can't rush it anyway. It's going to happen in its own time, like it's supposed to happen anyway. It was going to happen eventually. Knowing the agenda versus not knowing the agenda also helps your frequency. It helps your frequency by at least knowing. You don't have to be with the agenda, but at least knowing what it is and why things are this way and why things are that way helps your frequency to rise higher still. But if you don't understand it, if you don't know, and you walk around, emotional or not knowing what's going on, or mad because you're only seeing today, just understand that everything will work out. Period. Everything will work out. Right. Mm-hmm. What's up with the asteroid? And that asteroid comes every year, y'all. We're in a time loop as well. We're on pause. Each year we lose a year. Now, each year we lose a month until we figure it out. It's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. The longer it takes us to figure it out or mix, the hotter and more radiation it's going to get. Sometimes you got to put on the pressure. That's even in a song. I forgot what song it was. Some rapper. But anyway, each year we're losing a month. The asteroid that's supposedly coming in November came in December last year. Now it's coming up next year. It'll be here in October. Okay. So, or maybe 2 years. I don't know. However, they're doing the time now. But yeah, we're under pressure. So every year around December something, there's a comet. And now it's just showing you that time is winding up. Right. Mm-hmm. It's a time loop. Y'all remember on Doctor Strange when, I don't know if y'all haven't seen Doctor Strange, it's actually a good movie. I that was the first movie that I watched in that whole Avengers series. That one got me because it was more spiritual. You know, he went on a spiritual quest. He went all the way to, what was it? The Far East, was it China? I don't know, somewhere. He learned how to astral travel. He got all this knowledge. It was more of a spiritual journey um, than like a superhero movie. And then like it became a superhero movie towards the end. But it was very much about dimensions, astral travel, and spirituality, which is why I was, drawn to it. But that was the first movie I really liked. And so I started to watch the other ones that came after it. And so when he made a time loop, because he had the stone of time or whatever, the earth was this close to being destroyed over and over and over. He had to create a time loop in order to, and when the deity got sick of time repeating itself, he made a deal with Doctor Strange and allowed time to continue or to be reversed and then continue. So now, the bigger picture, you got to look at that. We can't be caught up in these little bitty boxes that you can't see 2 weeks past or 1 year past. We got to see the bigger picture, because this is how people that are pushing the agenda think. They think in hundreds of years and thousands of years, not in 1 year from now or 2 years from now or 10 years. They think in centuries and thousands of years. And they pass the same, information on to their whoever comes after them in order to keep the agenda going. So if you have someone, with thousands of years, hundreds of years of stuff to implement, and you're getting upset and emotional over something, that made you mad because someone said something, or, took you off your focus because you feel a certain way, it's because we don't know the agenda. But if we were in on the information, it wouldn't affect us. Or we may figure out how we can also benefit. Like Jay-Z said, that's the sound of the price going up. We will see how we can also benefit from it as well if we are just even aware of it. When you're not aware of your value, people will take advantage of you. They will get you in your feelings. They will bully you. When you're not aware of your value, they will take advantage of you. But when you are totally aware of your value and who you are, then they have to start to make these deals. And then that's when you benefit. That's why all these Black billionaires are popping up. And just like on that show, Lovecraft Country, when that I'm bad with names, y'all, but the main character, the guy, it was always him having the free will and having to give permission, and his knowledge that he knew that saved him, because people were definitely going to take advantage of it, but the laws are the law. Like, they always worked with law, like universal law, basically, or the law of one, or whatever. But it always was about the law of nature, the regular law, the universal law, always given a choice. And the coolest part was when he was running out of that house and he saw an ancestor who's a Black woman with a child. That was him. That was his ancestor in her belly. But it was also her. You see how everything worked together. Mm-hmm. You've been taking this whole week to decode your life. I started decoding mine. It's scary. You don't even know your life is coded until you start to do your life story, like where you grew up, the name of your street, all of this. You'll be amazed. Mhm. Do I think you'll need to get guns? No, I don't think you'll need to get guns. I think there's going to be two types of people that are in the know and people that are not in the know. And those people that are not in the know are going to be led where their fears lead them, or where they're being led to as pawns in the game. People that do know or know somewhat or know someone that knows something, they're going to be following a different path. So it depends on what you know, what you think is going on. I've given y'all the broad perspective of the future of why everyone is pushing this agenda. It's for technology, advanced technology that they had in Atlantis and in ancient Kemet that we cannot use until everyone is brown. So now that y'all know that, how do y'all feel? There's so many comments. I can't read all of them. I'm so sorry, but look at how many people are in the chat, darling. Like, it's a lot. Doesn't that defeat the purpose of being here? No, it doesn't. Thank you, Empress Lonnie. Yes, the first thing I thought about when I heard this news was that song King's Dead by Kendrick Lamar. It's from the Black Panther soundtrack. Exactly. It totally tells everything that's happening. That's how you know it's all a plan and nothing is by chance, especially in the media and on the news. Nothing. Now, people really dying for real, yes. But when it's on the news, when it's in the media, it's all orchestrated. Thank you, Crystal Good, Sprinkle Sprinkle. How do you start decoding your life? Start with your birthday. Start with your name. Start with maybe the name of the hospital you were born in, the city you were born in. Decode all the stuff that surrounds your life, the story of your life, what happened to you, things that stick out as battles or things to overcome, and decode those things of what they're similar to and what they mean. Just decode your street name, decode your, all those things, and you'll start to see it. Parents' name, exactly. You're going to be amazed. That's how people know thyself. You don't even have to start really with your ancestors if you don't really know who they are. Start with yourself and your parents. Just refresh it if it's buffering. Like I did a lot of research on my family. Like I discovered some cool stuff. Y'all want to hear some cool stuff about my ancestors? I think it's in this book. So I was just bored one day and I just got on. Like, okay, let me see what it's about. Like where my great grandma's from, A, B, C, and D. She is from, well, she's from Louisiana, but there's a town called, anyway, there's a mound there. So my ancestors are from a mound town. And I remember when I was talking to Ross Ben, and he was talking about how Philadelphia was full of mounds. And those mounds are the ancestor energy that's being put in the earth like ley lines. So my ancestors were living in a mound city, which is now a historical mark. If I can remember where I wrote it. It's in pink writing, so I just look for some pink writing. Okay. You gotta remember. Oh, here it is. I don't even know if I'm going to pronounce it correctly, but it's called Aboyoles. Aboyoles. Louisiana, Avoyolles. I can't pronounce it. It's probably French. I said areolas. But Avioles, I don't know. Anyway, founded in 1807, Marksville. It's about Marksville, prehistoric Indian burial mound. The Natchez tribes lived there, and the Avoyal tribes declared it a landmark. It's a huge mound. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's where my ancestors from. So my great grandmother, what was her name? Did I write it? Yeah. Margaret William, great grandmother, third great grandmother, great grandmother was Margaret William. And my great grandfather, Joseph Augustine, and he was a farmer. His rent was $3. Born 1897 in Avioles, Louisiana. Worked 48 hours a week for 52 weeks a year. No education. 10 household members. Okay, how you doing? So to see, hi mother, how you doing? So to see how people used to live with no education, lived in a house with 10 people, rent was $3, worked 48 hours a week for 52 weeks a year, no vacation. I looked it up on my the census. Let me look up the census. Okay, so they have records in the census. There you go. So there was more, but those were the ones that I found. The other people weren't like, they were more like aunts and uncles. I tried to do the people that were directly to me. And then my grandma, born in 1924, the same place. She only had a 5th grade education. There was other sons that lived in the house that worked for free. So you have like all these different stories that you can kind of see how your ancestors or your family used to live, or your great, whatever, according to the census. So my grandma moved to Houston, and then my mom came from her. But it's amazing how people could not get an education, and they barely had a 5th grade education that could come and be successful because they didn't have a choice, and they didn't have a choice because, the third grandma was probably born into slavery, and so where would wealth accumulate if you work 48 hours for 52 weeks? And, I don't know how much you got paid, but the rent was $3 with 10 people living in a house. So how much could you really earn? And most of the time, the farmers were just the sharecroppers from ex-slave owners. So it's very interesting how far people have come. And 1, 2, 3, 4 generations. And only 4 generations. That's super fast. Could you imagine? And that's with oppression. That's with racism. That's with no education. That's why you would see the picture of Chadwick Boseman or T'Challa with that crown on his head, or why he struggled through his acting career with colon cancer or lower frequency guiding him spiritually, like not spiritually, but like that's code for that. So even with our chakras flipped and everything turned against us, in 4 generations, a lot of people have like come so far. Black people have come so far. Even with the crown of thorns, because it's a force. So, like, never feel bad for being what you were born as. See it as your power, no matter what. No matter what, you are powerful. No matter what. Some people have the power to push past anything, even if the world is against you. And so that is what it is. I feel that if there was nothing ever against us, or the world wasn't, put on their shoulder, if there wasn't, poverty, a lack of education, if there wasn't slavery, if there wasn't, a lot of segregation and racism, would we even want to push further? Or would we be great automatically? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. But it seems that in only 4 to 5 generations, we've come a very long way. So what's next? I told y'all the technology coming, baby. Everybody's going to mix, and then we're going to have technology. But right now, the discipline has to happen. In order for that technology to be given to you, you must be a disciplined being. They can't give it to them. They can't give it to the backward chakras. So we're going to be going through a phase of discipline right now, and the discipline is going to shape and mold you into the person or the people that will be able to yield or wield that technology without being a danger to yourselves, basically. So we're getting ready to be disciplined, or self-disciplined, or if you don't self-discipline, you will be disciplined. And I'm not talking about like punished or put in prison or whatever, but your discipline will come through like missing out on things, not understanding things, being passed over for things, not being able to grasp what's in your reach. It's going to be a form of self-torture, It's going to be a form of people, how they have the cancel culture, the shun culture. But more of a leading by example culture, more of like a coaching culture, more of like a, in sports teams, when you go to practice, you're very disciplined on your diet, your exercise, your practice to become this type of athlete. It's kind of like that. So it's going to be implemented in different ways. It's not going to be forced, but it will be implemented. And those who are not up on the discipline may not have what they need physically to withstand the next rollout of 5 to 6G. You won't be able to withstand it. Like if one of the disciplines is to stop eating a certain thing or drinking a certain thing, or to be healthy or something like that, or not be this or not be that, and let's say they roll out 6G and call it some other virus, and you perish because of it, it's because you weren't disciplined. This is why they're always saying, oh, the underlying causes, people had underlying causes. It wasn't really COVID. A virus don't do that. But the underlying cause, the undisciplined cause of your health is what caused it. You didn't make it. Okay. So as technology increases, people are going to also either make it or not make it, depending on how disciplined they are. So getting your immune system health and all that kind of stuff up, I've been talking about that for years. This is why, because we have to transition into living on a higher frequency. Literally. We have to transition to living on a higher frequency, which means we have to cut out bad stuff that's not healthy for us in order to increase our frequency, in order to be able to absorb the radiation. So even though someone may have had eumelanin and may have gotten sick, it's because their frequency was too low, because they were unhealthy, and their body was working overtime to heal itself, to stay balanced, instead of protecting and absorbing and converting that radiation. It was too busy battling its already, bad health. So if your body is like an army and it's already fighting a battle within, it can't fight a battle on the outside. So somebody got to sacrifice. Thank you, Ash. Sprinkle. Do you think there's a significance to individuals that turn 21 and 22 in 2020? Is it being? Yeah, I'm sure there is. If I was one of those people, I would definitely look into it. Sprinkle. That's for you to know. That's for you to figure out. So I would definitely look into it. You definitely have like two going on the gateways and stuff. So it doesn't matter what causes this and what causes that. As you increase that 5G to 6G to 7G, it will cause it. In 7G, it might cause it. In 4G, it might not cause it, but in 7G, it might cause it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have to understand what's really happening. Y'all are living in the past. We are going into a whole nother reality. And people don't realize that they're still pulling from the past. That no longer exists. Y'all are eating like y'all are in 3G. You can't eat what you ate in 3G and 7G. You can't do it. So that's what we're going through now, the discipline. That's why they're slowly closing down the meat factories, taking a lot of extra food off the shelves. They're disciplining you by lying to you, telling you that there's a food shortage. No, they're putting you on a diet. You're welcome. No, they're taking away your beef. Slowly. No, they're limiting your intake and your excess of buying a bunch of food at the same time and overeating and staying at home because you ain't got nothing else better to do. They're taking away the things that you overindulge in. Okay? Nobody is going to starve. You'll just be on a diet. Okay? So if you're running around scared, thinking about you ain't gonna have no food, don't do that. They're just taking certain stuff off the shelf. They're taking certain amounts of food off the shelf so people don't stock up and be greedy. They're gonna slowly start to remove all the bad things because it's for your own good. Because most people don't understand that we're about to go into 6 and 7G. And if you eat that stuff, you're gonna be gone. You ain't gonna make it. So instead of just telling you, we all can't eat that stuff no more. We got to pull it from the shelves because we're about to turn up to 7G so we can get this technology. You can't tell normal people that don't understand anything about what's going on. They're the pawns. Okay. So they just take the bread, take some of the meat, because they don't need to eat that much carbs and meat all together anyway. Put it in the back and then restock with 1/3 less. It's all in the back. Ask the people that work there. So they're just disciplining you. They're trying to discipline you. If you can't discipline yourself, they got to discipline you. They got to take you by the hand and trick you in order to discipline you. They also told you to stay inside your house to also discipline you. They grounded you. Y'all don't see that the family and the parent and the children and the discipline era is happening right now. You stay in your house, wear this mask. You grounded. Ain't no food. Don't go try to buy up all the food and pig out. Make up with your family. Stop sneaking out to your mistress's house and stay your butt home. Get to know your kids. Do you even know their favorite color? Stay your butt home. Teach your own kids. The kids are going to be a result of the parents' discipline. Okay. So this is what it's slowly transitioning into. Like I said, it ain't gonna be no normal. It's a new normal. It's up to you. Gang, right? So next, you asked me what's coming next. That's what's coming next. They grounded you. They put you on a diet. They put you back together with your family and said, deal with them. They took away your job. Some of y'all, they took away y'all's jobs to show you, make your own job. Discipline. If you can work for somebody else, get up every day of your life and repeat the cycle over and over, you can do it for yourself. Why you don't do it for yourself? I got to take it from you. You know how many people have started businesses in this time? A lot. It's discipline and it's trickery, but it is worth it in the long run. They have to reverse your chakra systems because you're not ready for this new technology if you don't have the correct priorities. Okay? So now they got to retrain you. We can't look at it from narrow eyes anymore. We have to see the broad. To see the future, look to the past. Look at Atlantis. Look at ancient Kendrick. That's our future, period. You want that? Then we can't be getting mad over stupid stuff no more. You know, Atlantis is whoever creates it first. Okay, Atlantis is a group of people that are able to acquire a certain type of technology. Atlantis is we can make Atlantis right here. Atlantis may have been in several places. It may have been implemented. Project Atlantis may have been implemented in several places. That's why everybody says, oh, Atlantis is in Africa. Oh, no, Atlantis is in the Caribbean. Oh, no, Atlantis is in Greece. Oh, no, Atlantis is in America. Atlantis can be everywhere because it represents bringing a group of people together as one in order to have the same technology. So it could be all of those places. That's why a lot of the countries are implementing the same agenda. Because it can be everywhere. You started an online business investing in gifting, following the enemy. Crumbs, that's how they get money. They start gifting programs, but Black people are convinced it's a pyramid scheme. Okay, you saying they don't want the handout, or they think it's a conspiracy or a pyramid scheme? Thank you, Ascended Higher. As long as you don't have to pay something back, I don't care. They owe us that anyway. They got to give it to us anyway, because we're going to be there in the future. So I always feel that if you work for someone, whoever signs your check is handing you the same crumbs. So either way, you're going to slide. At least you can slide on your own terms. Looking at life through sunglasses and a sunroof. That's what Jay-Z says on the remix of Power. It means a lot of stuff is veiled from you and you can't really see. So somebody pulls it back. So if you are not in control of your own income, it doesn't matter. Get your business the best way you can, because in the long run, when they start laying off people again and there's no jobs, you'll still have a business. And they'll be looking for another job and another job and another job and another job. How can Black women make money off this? Start their own businesses. You see that Insta, the 19 people who bought a whole bunch of land in Georgia? I think I did. Yes. What they're gonna build there? You know, if they're trying to do that over here, I might be interested. Whole bunch more coming. Second wave, right? I think they bought like 100 acres. So if y'all didn't see The Rock's speech about how his family had corona, he's trying to tell y'all they're finna turn it up to 6 or 7 G, and to get your immune system up. Start taking y'all vitamins, get y'all elixirs, get y'all spirulina, get y'all chlorophyll, whatever. Get off that dairy. Get off the dairy. Get off the meat. Or get less meat. Eat less meat. Eat more citrus. If you eat meat, eat more citrus with it. You know, you gotta balance it. I would just cut out dairy totally, but if you're going to indulge in those things that are going to be very harmful when they turn it up, counteract it with a lot of citrus. Okay, basic, not orange juice, but like lemon, like real fruit. Not vitamin C, but citrus. Not the vitamin C, it's the citrus, because it cuts it. But I wouldn't do it anyway. I wouldn't even bother eating, because you're going to have to eat way more citrus. And citrus and milk don't mix, so you're going to be everywhere. So just cut it out. They have so many alternatives now, you won't even miss it. And people will tell you, and it's up to you to understand the science of what's going on, to keep up with the current of what's going on, and not to just live in your own little small box of understanding, but to broaden it. Because if you're able to receive knowledge wirelessly through the air, but you're stuck in a box, you're going to die of fear. If all you know is this much, and all this knowledge is passing through your mind at the same time, you're going to go crazy. Because you can't handle it, because you've stayed stuck so long in a small box and you never opened your mind up. So that's why they are disciplining you. That's why they are telling you to get your health up. Because if you can't get your health up to survive the next wave, you weren't going to survive anyway. So it's better that you go ahead and go now. Because with the technology that they're going to implement, you would be a danger to yourself and other people. So they got to get rid of you now. It's the purge. It's nothing personal. It's just if you don't have the discipline, you got to go. I mean, most people will carry a Bible for their entire life, go to church every Sunday, talk about the Lord said this, the 10 Commandments. I don't want to be a sinner, but as soon as somebody puts some rules and some discipline on you, you want to talk about something else. Oh, well, you should eat, you should do this. This is what they're talking about. Why do you think they fast? Why do you think they implemented rituals of fasting around certain holidays? So that when the time came, it would be normal to you. You know, it's not what you think, because it's not the same. The frequency is not the same as it was 5 years ago, because they are turning it up. So you can't act the same, eat the same, or anything. You gotta constantly be improving. If you're not building your immune system, it's being torn down. And I've said that so many times. And look who they chose, The Rock, to tell you this. Someone who works out religiously, someone who does motivational speaking, someone who everyone thinks is like, a hero or whatever. Someone who, I don't know, have, I guess, a lot of discipline and lives by example. I don't know. But they're choosing people to represent now. And you're going to notice that a lot of people that they're going to choose to push this agenda are going to be family oriented now. It's not going to be no more of the other stuff. They're only going to be choosing people that are good examples. It don't matter if he's fake. Don't matter. He's there to discipline and push the disciplined image, period. That's why he's playing Black Adam. So our opinions don't really matter to the agenda. Don't matter. They're going to do it anyway. It's great that we understand that it's all fake and all orchestrated, but definitely necessary. Just understand that it's necessary. If it wasn't necessary, people wouldn't have been dying. If people could withstand the technology that's coming and the energy that's coming, there wouldn't have been so many people getting sick or dying of underlying causes, of bad health, of unbalanced living. So that should tell you right there, the discipline that they're implementing is for your own safety into the future of the technology. Just like an astronaut, if you're trying to train to go into outer space, you can't be eating like that. You can't have none of that stuff going on. You can't go to outer space. Oh no, you got high blood pressure, you can't go. Oh no, you got diabetes, you can't go to space. Oh no, you eat and drink all of that bad food. Nope, you can't go to space. You got to be in good health, have a high immune system, A, B, C, and D. You can't be an astronaut because you have bad habits. You are undisciplined. So if they try to put you in space, you're gonna die. Okay, well, I guess we'll let you go to space with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes. Oh, we got to make a size what? Spacesuit? What size are you? Oh, you're going to need, well, we don't have enough room in the cockpit for you. Whatever. We don't make 3XL spacesuits, baby. So, but we'll go ahead and put you up there, We'll just take two together. You ain't going to make it back because you're going to be dead. Because your body cannot withstand all of that radiation. It can't withstand all of the electromagnetic frequencies and whatever. So you're going to die before you can make it back. This is how you have to look at it, like you're going into space. However you need to get there health-wise, whatever you need to do, whatever you need to take, whatever supplements, whatever vitamins, whatever food you need to adjust, that's what you got to do. The whole world is going to space, yes. Basically, we're bringing the amount of radiation that's in space to the world. Okay. because that's how you create. You know how to say, oh, in the cosmos is the stuff created out of frequencies and created like particles. There's a lot of radiation in space. There's a lot of energy, just free energy. So if you want to bring that to Earth, then you have to be space ready, right? I notice it's getting hotter. And I don't even go outside that much. You can feel the heat in the house. You can feel the electricity. You can feel. Can you feel it? You can feel the sensation. You can feel the energy. Now they turned it up. Mhm. I told y'all spirulina is good. Anything that gives you a high boost of immunity. Spirulina, chlorophyll. Somebody said seagrass. I mean sea moss. That's what you need. Those are the three main things I would definitely suggest. Someone says zinc. You gotta be careful though, because remember we're going into 7G. You gotta be a scientist. Sadly, you gotta be a scientist. You gotta know what metals work well with electromagnetic frequency. That's why I take my elixirs because they raise your frequency. Because there's copper, there's gold, there's platinum, and they are conductors of electromagnetic frequencies. So if you have all this going through you, and instead of your body being affected by it, your body acts as a conductor. You see, instead of being fried, you become a conductor. And if it can get through you faster and easier, then it spends less time in your body, or you absorb less of it in a dangerous way. You know what I'm saying? So um, that's why they have the conductor. Who is a conductor? I saw somebody conducting something on someone's last Instagram. Oh, somebody famous. I can't remember. Anyway, I just told y'all what y'all really needed. Those three things right there is what you really need. You can add whatever else you want, but get those 3. Mhm. They have liquid forms of chlorophyll as well. If you don't like taking pills. What's the future for women? Same thing. Whatever you make it. Whatever you make it. I, I don't put people in a lump group. Women, and there's different types of women. There's women like me, women like you, women like this woman over here. If we don't have the same priorities, we're gonna all end up in different places. So depending on your discipline and your priorities is where you're gonna end up. But it's not space, it's still the material physical world. Sounds manipulative. It's not space. Okay. Gotta break it down for the kindergartners. The radiation is going to be increased upon the earth by 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever, 10G, whatever we're going to go to. If you were to go into space, you would also have a high level of radiation. So, whether you're in Earth or space, the radiation is increasing, period. So, in order to survive and maintain, you must get like you're going into outer space. It was a analogy. It was an analogy. It was a way to explain it easy. So just like they don't let unhealthy astronauts go to outer space, unhealthy people aren't going to make it to 7 and 8G, which means when they turn up 5G to 6G, which they already have, to 7G to 8G, another mysterious virus are going to take out a lot of people because it's a frequency that's taking them out. Okay, just like they don't put unhealthy people on rockets or on a space station because they will not survive. We're not going to space, but the cosmos, the amount of radiation that's out there is coming here. Okay, so it really don't matter. To merge the heavens with the earth is what they're doing. So that means to bring in the same amount of radiation that's able to turn particles into waves and waves into particles. That's what we're doing, quantum physics. In order to bring the quantum universe onto the earth, we have to evolve, which means we have to get ourselves disciplined to get to the next level. The future will be vegan, believe, period. It may take a while to wean people off the meat, but they will. Oh, all the cows got a disease. Don't eat no meat. That's what they're going to tell you. They're going to close all the plants. People are going to think there's a food shortage. Nope. They're just taking your meat away so that you can live because you don't know any better. Because those are the two main things that cause mucus: meat and dairy. So those are going to be taken. So when they take meat and dairy from you, it's for your own good. Just understand. They'll start to implement more, fruits and stuff. It's going to be the thing. Like they're going to give it to one of the major influencers and say, "Okay, here, what's your name, Kardashian lady, Beyonce? Here, drink this type of drink and make it as popular as Starbucks Frappuccino." Okay, because we need these people to start drinking this stuff. We'll pay you $1 billion, $1 million, a couple of million. Okay, go ahead. So we need them to start liking this drink, Jamba Juice, whatever, wheatgrass, whatever you throw in there. Jamba Juice. Okay, thank you, Travis Scott, for saying Jamba Juice in that song. So basically, they're going to influence you towards a healthier lifestyle. Y'all, look what happened to cigarettes. Look what happened to cigarettes. My old people know what happened to cigarettes. Thank you, Crystal Moon, Sprinkle Sprinkle. What type of meat, dairy alternatives are safe? It's hard getting my nutrients being plant-based. I don't trust them. I have to limit my fruits and carbs. Anything with protein in it. Just Google this. Foods with vegetables with protein. You got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkey, no. Beans, lentils, peas, spinach. I said nuts. Almond milk, oat milk. Oat milk tastes real good. They have vegan cheese now that's made out of cashews. Tastes real good. It melts and everything. So you have all that. You can drink almond milk, coconut milk. They have so many alternatives to milk. So just pick one. Rice milk, whatever. Flaxseed milk. Just go take your pick. There's so many alternatives. You just have to go look and try. It's an experiment. Just go try it. Try whatever. That's what I did until I found what I liked. Avocado. That's a lot of protein and good fats. Someone said banana milk. Yep, just type up foods with high protein. that are vegan. All of it will pop up. We said only in the end we're gonna eat air and light. Eventually, y'all remember that movie Powder, where he was running, and then the lightning took him up like the plasma. And when you become plasma, you don't have to eat. That's why, like I said, when stuff is code for something, like when they say food is code for like you melanin, or food is code for your frequency, or the ionosphere will absorb a certain amount of your energy before allowing you to go into the cosmos. That's the food for those energies that create the veil or the ionosphere. Those are energies that eat. When you pass through, you feed the troll, you pay the toll. Okay? And so when you pass through the ionosphere, you're going to lose some of your protons or electrons, one of them. Sorry. And that's their food. So when you change energy forms, you change food forms. How does a ghost eat? What do you put out on your ancestor altar? How does a spirit or a soul or a ghost or energy eat? What do they need? Water, fire. Exactly. So when you change forms, the code will be literal. You see, that's why you got to learn it. Because if you don't learn it in your afterlife, if you don't learn it now and you don't take it with you, because you take your knowledge with you, then you're not going to understand the afterlife either. You're going to be walking around clueless just like he was in this life, or flying around like on Ghost. Yeah, I remember Ghost. Patrick Swayze, he had to go find somebody to teach him stuff, and that the dude on the subway, he was like, I'm still roaming around here too. I haven't figured nothing out either. I just know how to kick a can. So that's why you have a lot of people that roam around, because they didn't learn enough in this life to navigate the afterlife. That's why they had specific instructions on the sarcophagus and the places in ancient Kemet with instructions to the afterlife. That's it. Because if you don't learn it now, if you don't understand the code now, if you don't understand what food is code for, if you don't understand how to eat in the spiritual realm, if you don't understand what will eat you in the spiritual realm, then what? In the energy realm, I'll say. Because you'll still feel like yourself, but you'll just be in a different frequency. You know? So how are you going to eat there? Yes, you're going to eat light and whatever, but what is the light going to be in a form of? You know, I know like Halloween and Dia de los Muertos and All Saints Day and whatever Souls Day is coming up, and people usually leave out stuff on their ancestor altars, candy, food, da 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 da. You know, food has a different frequency. Each type of food has a frequency. Each type of drink has a frequency. A candle, the fire from that has a frequency. In order for you to descend back into this realm, when the veil is thin, you need to be replenished once you get here. And that's why they set out ancestor altars, to replenish your energy. And so you setting out food that is high in energy. That's why you go to Asia, they got fruit up there. They ain't got no junk. They ain't got no like because they do it in their as part of their culture. So they don't have just like, a pack of ramen noodles sitting up there. They got fruit, because fruit is high in frequency. They got water. Mm-hmm. So set out high frequency food. Don't set out crap. If you are wanting to replenish your ancestors, if they should come through to this back on the side of the ionosphere, when the veil is thinner, they have to give up less to come through. They might come through and enjoy this realm on a holographic level, I'll say. So give them good food. Don't give them slop. Most people be putting the bad stuff on the ancestor altar and don't realize, look, that's not energetic. I mean, that's not going to give them anything. Put some. You want to make a real good old ancestor altar. Get you some gold, get you some jewelry. That's why they say put jewelry. You need that gold. You put some water because they got to activate that melanin once again. You got to put foods rich in melanin. Put some purple stuff up there, some black beans, some black grapes, some berries, and some mushrooms and all that kind. That's what you feed them. Give them high energy foods. If you want to see, what happened. Say fresh flowers. Mm-hmm. And it's not like, oh, well, give them what they enjoyed in life. Yeah, that might attract them, but what they really need is to replenish. And so you can put something that might attract them, like a smell, but also put the other stuff that's going to re-energize them too. Like put that other stuff there. You put a plasma ball there if you want, this little plasma ball. Put that there too. Put a rose oil is the highest oil, vibrational essential oil that exists. Get you some rose oil. Put some roses and some rose oil. Maybe you can drop some in some of the water. I mean, having all this information, knowing all this from, the stuff that we already learned, when we learned about herbs, when we learned about essential oils, when we learned about flowers, when we learned about frequency, when we learned about ancestors, when we learned about altars, all of it's going to come together. It's all going to make sense. It's all going to make sense. And so just put out energetic stuff. Mm-hmm. You said red curry mango. I have some red curry in my fridge right now. Some leftovers. Mm-hmm. They put raw meat out. Well, I mean, if you broke that down scientifically, the raw meat, it's not very highly energetic though. I mean, you get a high frequency putting out other stuff. How do you create an ancestor table? Put stuff on there that you want to honor them. Put, I always do like candle, a cup or a bowl of water. They need that to activate their energy. Whatever you want to put on there. Like if there's somebody that you know that has passed away, you can put a picture of them or some of their stuff to attract them, like their favorite whatever. And then you put out the high frequency stuff so that they can replenish. Mm-hmm. You said if it's of flesh, so the energy is high. Mm-hmm. Well, think about a dead body. Like whenever you think of meat, just think of a dead body. They're not getting energy from the meat, they're getting soul or spirit from the animal. You know what I'm saying? They're not getting energy, they're getting that animal's plasma. Thank you, Halima Sprinkle Sprinkle. Want to join? This is the wrong channel, baby. Sprinkle Sprinkle. I appreciate you, though. Come back on my other channel, baby. Thank you, Sprinkle Sprinkle. What? You eat the animal in fear, you ingest that fear. Yeah. I guess. I don't eat the animal anymore. So. Good point. Yeah, so if you think about a dead body, that's how you have to think of meat. As your essence or your soul and all the energy leaves out your body, chemical changes occur in the meat, in the muscle, in the organs. And it putrefies, this is alchemy, and releases certain things into the air. It's basically the plasma and the putrefaction process of alchemy. Your soul being released through decay. So you're still eating animal soul. But if there's nothing else and that's all you got, you have no choice. Whatever. You said eating soul is better than eating toxins from plants. Well, those animals eat plants. Right. Well, I don't get into the vegan stuff. Look, it is what it is. You choose your frequency. Period. You choose your frequency. Everything is free will. I'm pescatarian, but no dairy. How about seafood? Bottom feeders. There's so much symbolism and stuff. It's hilarious. Because I was just thinking about a video that I saw. The shade that they throw around with symbols. Okay, y'all have to do the science. Like, do they? Okay, what do they eat in outer space? I'm just gonna ask. Do they eat salmon in outer space, baby? They be eating in outer space. Do they allow that? If they can't eat it in outer space, there you go. That's what you need to go by. They eat freeze-dried meats and vegetables in space. That's right. Freeze-dried meat. I wonder how good that tastes. Like beef jerky or something. Astronaut ice cream. What do they eat in ancient Kemet? Let's look at their diet. What do they eat in Atlantis? Let's look at their diets. If you want to know what you're going to be eating in the future, let's check it out. The diet of an ancient, what they ate over there. see what they ate. And y'all, let's see. Dates and olives. Let's see what they ate, right? What they ate. I'm going on 3 hours. Comedic diet comes up. Let's see what they ate. There's a diet called comedic diet. They already got a diet for you. Here you go. From ancient Egyptian medical teachings. There's a book. Let's see what they ate. But remember, like, still time. During the time of Thoth, they may have eaten a lot different as well. Remember, it's a span of 5,000 years. So we got to see the earliest or the mid. I think it would be the mid. So the scientists, they were scientists in other healing. Okay, so they based their diet on science. That's good to know. This is a book. I guess you can read it. They're not going to give me any information, so I'm going to find it somewhere else. The mid, where they had the most, when they were the most advanced, we got to see what they ate then. Mm-hmm. Right. We have to get to the mid span early. We have to say early. Mm-hmm. Because remember, they started agriculture. Remember, they started planting. So they had a large diet of vegetables, at least because they were planting stuff. Boiled vegetables, onions, beer, bread. They said nobles ate meat with grain at every meal. So only royalty ate butter and cheese. But to me, this is later on. This is not the first. This is not what they originally ate, because they wouldn't have ate that stuff. So I would have to go way back, see what they first started to eat. Mm-hmm. Diet of bread, fresh beans, and fish. So they did eat some fish. Okay. I don't know. Just I'll have to research it and I'll come back with that. Maybe in a whole nother video. That would be cool. So they did start the agriculture, remember? And they had lush gardens along the Nile. So, they probably eat a lot of fruit and vegetables. They may have eaten fish and stuff like that, and small amounts of meat, but not how America eats. Okay. There was no way that they were on the same scale as eating huge portions of meat at every meal, huge portions of like dishes either. There was no way that they were doing that. Because if you go and look back, you don't see obese people back then. You don't see nobody obese. So they weren't eating like America eats. Or they were working it off, obviously. So it's not the same. Meat is the number one cause of diabetes, right? So we know that we got to change and discipline ourselves. So let's just get past the diet talk. But anyway, I'm not saying you have to give up everything you love, but lessen it, baby. Just take it on a smaller level. Take your time and slowly do what you got to do. Don't just give it all up at the same time. Just discipline yourself a little bit by little so that's not forced upon you. Sumos, ascend, yes. The royalty had more lavish diet with fish and meat and with wine. But I don't think that they ate. The typical impoverished American probably eats better than the ancient Egyptian royalty, as far as the amounts and the portion size. You know what I mean? If we really think about it. So. Any questions? How do you grow health food if soil is poisoned? They don't even need soil to grow food anymore. They grow food in water. They grow food with different stuff now. You haven't seen how they grow food? You don't need the ground anymore. They growing it on the spaceship right now. They have a plant or some type of lettuce. Lettuce. That was code for DNA, by the way. But they put a plant on there. Lettuce. They're yeah, I heard about underground farms. Sure did. What am I having for dinner? I don't know. I haven't even thought about it. I really don't think about it, but I got to go in a few minutes. Um, how do you feel about the COVID-19 vaccine being prepared to distribute? It's all free will, baby. It's all free will. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Know that you all have free will. Understand this. Just understand that you all. I'm gonna end this with this. Everyone has free will. Everyone has the free will to take it or not to take it. If you set yourself up in a position to where you have to take it in order to keep something or to maintain something, that's also still free will. Remember this. You can't say I don't have a choice because you always have a choice. You'll say, oh, I can't work at my job if I don't take the vaccine, and then I can't feed my family. And then, okay, well, that's still a choice. That is free will. You can say no and start your own business. You could have started your own business last month, the whole time we was on, quarantine online. You could have done so much. That's why they give you this time. You can't say that they didn't do it because they expect you to figure it out. It's a game. So if you're not thinking and you're letting them think for you, and you end up having to take a vaccine because you feel like you don't have a choice. You do have a choice, but you did not prepare. You didn't prepare because you didn't take anything that was happening as knowledge. You didn't see the bigger picture. So if you take it, I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. But it would take a weird, if you were creating this quote unquote utopian society, would you want people in there that allow people to inject stuff in them not knowing what it was? Just think about it. I mean, really think. If you're making Atlantis, do you want people in there who cannot think for themselves? Do you want people in there that don't see options? That creates desperate people. They don't want that in there. They give you every opportunity in every chance, but if you can't see it, that's your test. You failed. So that's why you have to start paying attention. You got to open your eyes. You got to take opportunity when it presents itself, no matter what. No matter what. Because they don't want desperate people in Atlantis, because that's how they fell. Mm-hmm. Don't do it. Figure out another way. Mm-hmm. You said you eat meat. I don't have anxiety. I don't care. A lot of people just care too much and they worry. That's just natural. I don't care because they don't know what's coming. That's why they have anxiety. If you have a plan, if you know the plan, your anxiety goes away. Try it. If you have high anxiety, plan your day out for the next day. It'll go away because anxiety is just fear of the unknown, fear of not knowing what's coming next, fear of not being in control of what's coming next. That's all it is. Just plan your day out. If you see the bigger picture, there's no anxiety. Mm-hmm. Vaccines, what is that for? They're talking about the COVID vaccine. I already ate Panera today. Cryptonomics. See? Did you see my cup? Mm-hmm. You saw my cup, or are you just saying Panera because you picking up on that frequency over there? What did you first get into manifesting in such a win? Sorry if that's random. I kind of was always into it. I wouldn't probably have called it manifesting at the time, but I would create like I would put down what I wanted. I would draw it, or I would like cut pictures out of magazines and stuff. Kind of like a vision board, but like in a journal or something. I would always do that when I was a kid. Put it on my notebook or whatever. I think we do that as kids. We hang stuff on our wall. I think it's a mental form of that. I mean, a physical form of manifesting, but I think we've always manifested. We just didn't call it that. But when I first started doing it on purpose, I would say probably when I was 28. When I was 28, that's when I first really started to manifest. Mm-hmm. What do you think of the new Jamie Foxx movie? I have not seen Project Power, but I'll try to check it out soon. You're eating Panera right now? Good for you. Mm-hmm. Project Power is about melanin. Wow. I'm going to check it out. I'll eventually get around to it. It takes me a little while to amp up to watch a show. I have a consultation anyway. I will see y'all on the next one. No, I'm not going. Somebody sending me some junk text talking about volunteer with the Texas Democrats. Can we count on you to support the Democrats up and down on the ballot? Nope. Look what they done sent me. Should I give them a piece of my mind? I vow to no one. They're gonna think I'm crazy, but that's okay. Until Michael Jackson run for president, I ain't voting. Y'all know I'm crazy enough that I'm gonna send it for real. Hold on, guys. I cannot vote. I would love to see the response. I really put it for real. Thank you, Halima. Joe Biden emailed you to donate. I'm in England. Where are you trying to get y'all in England? Wow. Thank you, Halima. That's for that info. He reaching out, huh? A mess. I'm voting for my left and right. Who? What? Y'all are silly. How I respond to the haters? You can insult them in the most classy way. That's because I really mean it. I'm just trying to calm them back down. Thank you, though. I will not bow. I don't think it matters who wins. That's the whole point. It don't matter who wins. It matters if you vote or not. You see, do you see it? Do you see? It's not about the winner. It's about the voters. It's about who worships you. Gods don't compete. Either you vow to one or you don't vow to one. Period. Let that sink in. The election is the trick. Okay? The result is the trick. Y'all gotta start thinking. It's kind of like that game you used to play when you were a kid. Who could drink their drink the fastest? And you get your little brother or your little sister and you're like, okay, let's see who can finish our drink the fastest. And they drink theirs up real quick and you pretend you are, but you sipping slow. So when they out of their drink and they thirsty and they're looking at you with your full drink and you laughing at them and they feel tricked. This is the whole election is the trick. Okay? It's like, let's see who can win the vote. Let's see who's going to win. Okay? Let's see who can win. They're not going to worship you. They ain't going to vote for you. They ain't going to put you in a high position. So what you rushing to go do that for? Sip on your drink, baby, and get your money. And when you're on Instagram and you're all confused when you see the celebrities with the mask on that say vote, that's code. Vote means vow. The mask means silence. A vow of silence. You ain't even got to talk. You ain't got to vote. It means you'll be vowing to a lower frequency. Silence, no sound is a low frequency. You're vowing to a lower frequency when you vote. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I gotta go, Audrey, but I've had so many past lives. They're my future lives. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I gotta go though. I've had so many past lives. They're my future lives. I will see y'all on the next one. Bye, Halima. I sprinkle you too. Sprinkle, sprinkle, Halima. Since I missed you. All right. Bye.